senior solicitors from JF Law Solicitors and no Atanasia. Ye Baba Betche and Como and then no Babedin Como. Frewunya be ne catch the Wunya be Sabanas campaign Atanase. And then Kuma ye bedino a here at the mount, a here at the mamma so. Wouldn't you be a Sunday year in the coffin and a babruche, Nikun and a coffin and a babruche, or this spouse visa and a tikromiha. And Poso Beshia Bermanana or Bano Ewo Kromiha. Naya Mano and Krata and number Kusu enti. Me pacho, don't worry, a wound yakras or better now. I'm 5 years, when him diabana. And you know, Babedin Como and Sasanya Ebi Abba me pacho. Or Bibiara would see a Messania de Bia Mecano, Menya lawyer, enti me real program or no. Now, Fremia, Ebia non fa and Kwan, and I made the Ebba Mount, enti a better. So we be free when you be na be catch the when you be say. Aponos campaign any lawyer Janet Frempong at Nasi. And I have been come after ye for whom new updates are abba. Now you didn't come after a year violence, domestic violence. A quite bay now before swat. Yeah, Bruno, yeah, Kikau Yeti Tuno, would you be Jinasu Enya and Krata Ewo Ekromina? Be a main country was a patch of point of correction, Miss Rowe. Miss Ramo Madaroma, main country was a Koja Wukunu, main country was a Koja, main country was a Kofreko T. Emma Wukunu. Name Momono made Srawo Ama Wajane Ababi, this was said. I dear now who come the situation now who come on. A bit to me a pavu way be at the amount, Ewo baby. What's your say? Obi wo hanso so a eye aware ntoma e no wagye eye cabbage aware enti no eno no obetimi afaso e de kwan bi ewuram ama apevu we bi e de amount enti mesrewo enjema no nsibone se e ya balance skin pace yenko fere kotima yekunu yenko ja aware me pacho da bi ne sa na me ba be ka me kasa ama omo asabi eye cabbage fuompo ukunu no wayera nhu no. And mommy say, and mommy say, and mommy say, and one mommy we are men abuse, cooking abuse, financial abuse, sleeping abuse, what you say, sex abuse, nina no, it's me a pavu, way be at the amount. It's I mean, no baby didn't come to what Nasia, Mema wa kwaba, Mema wa Mema wa do, Mema wa ha, me the baby I will be a entia at the amount. It's if you wouldn't be a catcher when you be say, lawyer Janet Frempong, Yaneno Atanasi and I'm not paying. Mammy said, why Michiao, Deborah Jemfua Michiao, Apostle Anthony Michiao, Williams Michiao, Ade Dawson, Michiao, and a day, a queer Michiao, sweet sister queer, me pacho, oh, ye dear, Mammy a queer Michiao, Miss Sister Jefferson Michiao, Lily Male Lamte Lily, I'm a pay, oh, ye dear, me did this, oh, ye pa, a Fadus, Michiao, and a day. Oh, I come will be a Michiao lawyer, Janet, me who so one joining a lawyer Michiao, or Hiniba, Michiao, Hinibasicani, Papa B, Michiao, Unix, sister Unix Minta. I greet you, Mammy a queer, Mammy, I greet you, Michiao, Bibiara, what kind of home? Why me more would you want to tell Chibiano, Michiao, Mammy Sawakuto, sweetie, Michiao, or Pia, where Chibia, Mohammed Michiao was here. I wanted to watch the program, but unfortunately, due to the night shift, just closed from work.
You have to sleep.
I have to sleep, Sister Abena. I saw a busa. What now, friend? Me maybe you're ready. No me boy. Oh now, friend, me busa question. You question. I mean, tikwana why? We just spoken. Oh, okay. Oh now me no kasa. You know from Germany. Okay, kwana. Kwada ade from me you question no sister Menks of Lawrence naima be patcho mechia of Lawrence o ye de mechia ma me akua o ye ampofoa sewa akoto mechia obi biara mo amotete akire ghost fo mo nsamanfo amotete akire mo so na mo ha adwen no me say for the past 3 weeks or so Mamo ye me complain, mamo hamo. So oh ya friend sister abena, ya friend ma abena, ya friend auntie abena, ya friend auntie abena no. Isimu se on person obe chere isimu. Oh friend na was a friend lawyer, yes of course. Me pamocho me a lovely person, abena me sign. Dear metia na metia, menya lawyer. So wo friend me na me ma wo answer bi a eye no fa e na me de ma wo. Me call law school. Me nsua de me wo bisa me certificate kura yi a me DV school kura can't remember. Enti se me betena ha me ba e be ye program. A program like this. Na se me catch na wo se me pa wo chow. Fre wo nua bi e manemra. E ye teaching lawyer for nananom ahemfo a mo United Kingdom muntie me medie ni die emamo ba nana you are not above to watch this program. Nana, you are not above to share the program to somebody. Enti munyai ena ye programmer na mo de me number mo obi ena problem we dia bonus campaign na betimi asolve. Menya lawyer ni ono betimi busa no any question that you want to ask. So me we program na wo frame na asem wa me kan ni program so na wo be kan ena me kan wa ha o frame me mfimu o frame wo start ya se ne ma so ase de ye mo na frɛ lawyer Skin Pain Fine Club for muntie me na muntie me ye enye se me ni mu wokuo ba ko munti no o ma me hwe video ena me ma me wi a me frɛ sister abna o wi a don't call me we enye Skin Pain Fine Club asem we eye adwuma bra ne betie come and acquire wisdom a wo de betene kurumi ha we enye me nim wo me wo ye me nua me wonua wo kurumi a wo ni nkrata wo me wonua wo kurumi ha watena ha 22 years or you mean ya bema 22 years oni nkrata okochini koye debia fa bra fa wonioma no I know forjira ewom I know baby awakoko I know say you can't get it ba fa bra me wolo yese kuku dem oh Ghana for lawyer obi say India okoye no obi du number bi ma na se nim sister bia bra won krata obeboa Mini no jinambe. Me brother fa ne phone a obo number 07 me private number 50 na number na yi ama no mampani abona. Ego si mi sister no me chiri ba miensa no wo chiri ba miensa na me. On se wo kwa ni ewi ase adepa ben wo a wo mpe. Me brother friend me no say abona wo enkofo e recommend wo na me se mi ntumi mwa. Oye mi nua me brother panyin no me se mi ntumi mwa no. Baby a ono feel so kwa ne hobeto wo de 19 say say wo friend man no pa bi a chia me man pani good morning we India lawyer so atiase aha appel me chia enti mesremo a program like this no you don't pay anybody stella abna wontua obi aka bra ne betie last week he say opportunity e ba ye be kan ye wi nkofo ofre lawyer sister obi na do number ma me wo kaso obi kura na no putu me off kura na makato wo di number ne be ma obi no free nipa no ne ka kire ni se wa fa waso ebra ebetie it is Skin Pain Fine Club of wa me say ma ye so down ma mo frɛ me no ma ye down kakra ma mo nye down wate go up because momo kura no ene wosenka program no ye chance ya nenka moma ba enu obi frɛ me a Skin Pain Fine Club ni bi wo frɛ me a Skin Pain Fine Club na mse abusia ba akon omo trick no abusia akon ma bana me do number ma mi sister bi so frɛ me sister say hey sister we dey misro no because my friend na mo ka chem say me friend lawyer enti Millicent Obin wo frɛ no na ne kwa abusia ba akon wo na ne kokko ba akon enti wo de wo frɛ na wo befa na iraba ni nya audacity nya authority because me de oni me netiku ba akonti enti wo frɛ busa question lawyer mi yina no kama me kyerɛkyerɛ ni nyoma kama ba me ka kyerɛw e free no cream bra ne behwe program no me wie wo na aye me maame wo ye me nana wo ye me wofa wo ye me sofo ekura na me sofo wo frɛ me a I will let you down. What I saw for now, more friend of what. Now, me number, momo, or ye me daughter, me your daughter, me papa, or she a great sema as a super papa. I am not your daughter. You cannot give birth to me. Me dear mamo, as a papa. Munim set program the beboa, and yama poo can yes, and I will suffer the who ye a year and one friend say, Abana go and share the man to what. Lawyer, good morning.
Good morning,
Kitty. Lawyer, Mohammed, what I say, a lawyer programmer, a boa, a me passe no. Maybe a lawyer, me to wait, Kakra, the Befa Hakra, and a time with him, me de be your what I say. when we no offend you my pressure a day me course I mean you be na munya course pa lawyer minya no me ya kwantu mu nsem me koso wa kwantu mu nsem problem me ya me wo madwuma me ye me fa ha na nkofo frɛ me nya lawyer me ma gon se woni pa wo frɛ me enso so frɛ lawyer wo se de bi de wo be ka ne netie bra program so ne be share sister abna asofo o mo tete jira mo hwɛ mi o na me de agugu mu so o ya sofo frɛ wo member kura ma ne mehwa o se me frɛ enso wo sofia wuti we cabbage ne kura bomb ene hye wo to wa sofo fo mu gu woni na ehia enso so wo ya na wa betete jire no wa kriki speaker that could speak can be na be mo so say pai e wona be mo say Holy Ghost mo o twitwa nkofo aso be sha wo nhye nansa aso ahemfo ne kura no ho ye mahio ahemfo ofra say me yo otumfo man come on bra ne betama so ne ehwedi ofra wo say me ba ne Abnas Kimpe on ba na hwan wo betimi wo di me age abre what is me aba bibia fufu yi wo di me age
Abnas Kimpe
lawyer chia woman na yenko na mo ya ma me no payment chakula.
Good morning listeners and watchers. Welcome to the Abnas Kimpe program. It's nice to see that you're all watching us and you've joined us. My name is Janet Frimpong. I'm a solicitor and a partner at JF Law Solicitors. JF Law Solicitors, we are based in Camberwell Green, Southeast London. Our address is Unit 150, Camberwell Business Centre, 99 to 103 Lowmont Grove, Camberwell Green, London, SE5 7HN. Our land telephone number is 0207 277 0444. If you want to call me on my mobile, it's 07932 021 889. Or you can email me at j.frimpong at jflawsolicitors.co.uk. j.frimpong at jflawsolicitors.co.uk. If you've been watching this program on every Tuesday, you see me, Janet Frimpong here. We joined Abnas Kimpe and we discuss matters to do with immigration. We pick up a topic and then we just summarize it and tell people what it's all about, and then we give you a chance to ask questions. We're going to do the same today, and then we give you a chance to ask questions. Today our topic is domestic violence. What is it? What is domestic violence, and how do you make an application as a victim of domestic violence? What is domestic violence? How do you make an application? This topic is chosen today specifically because lately we've been having people who make domestic violence applications and then they get refused. And what we see is that the refusal, some of these refusals, can be avoided. They can avoid refusal if they got proper legal advice and they put in the appropriate evidence to support their application. So that's why we want to talk briefly about that today. And then we'll give you the opportunity to ask questions about this and any other immigration law area, your difficulties, your questions today. That is what we're going to do. So welcome to the Abnas Kimpe program. Thank you.
Thank you. So welcome to Abnas Kimpe program. I love you all. Mr. Sister Jennifer T. Boateng. Good morning, Reverend Fredo. I salute you. Mr. Tati Jacob Owusu, Jacob Mechiao, and Faustino Trisuri, Mechiao, Anope, Stella, my body, sweetheart, Pearl. Pearl, how was your weekend, my body? Rosemary Tete, good morning, sweetie. Me pacha wo ye dear, Equia, my body, Asari, sweetie, Asari, Michiao, Anope, baby, I will be a Michiao, me was what joining Jeffrey Michiao, and Anope. Oh, Jeffrey said, could you please check there is different sound on the back? Jeff, me pacho be to me a PA now no sign a bank. I will be very, very happy abia wo ho me sweeter tio bretio mechiao tios floss nyakon cosmo mechiao and anope Stella Abana, welcome you. I welcome everybody once again. Oh yes, multimedia, sweetie Michiao, Millicent Obin, good morning, sweeter Joyce Jefferson, good morning, Helena Edu, Michiao, Obibiara, Wakayo, Wamimo Udibia, me Pacho, Betimia, me. Hi, G Cote, sweetie G Cote, Grace Fodro, sweetie Michiao, Kachre Rama, Michiao, sweetie Michiao. Obibiara, Eugene, welcome, Eugene, good morning. How are you, Eugene? I hope say ohoye ene ano pay. Era ma ajemai. Era ohoye edi anas. Anas ohoye. Mejidi se obi ahoye ma bo obi edi ma mi abna dodua. I'll say eye normal. Okay, Solomon. Solo mejidi se ohoye edi. Okay, good. Redeemer, Michiao, and Anope Asante Richard, Michiao Asante, some year late. All right, lawyer, me patron, young queen, comedy, so because, and at 12 for Pepe Pena, ya sorry, free, FD Cassie, so now you be and como. When you will be a me patron friend, and a catch and say, and Uncle Ma, and the any lawyer, eba, bedi, no, be a now and benefit, but a benefit. When you be our tip, baby, you be a full lines to my any question, bibiara, and for legal matters will be a hobby to me, and pusa a young lawyer. And then come my year, Baby and Juliet Autry Darko, a fun comobia, Felix, Ubetimi, a busa, some person oba a bruchere, some person way and crater, what on a person way and crater, a quite best on our person way application, a yen usika, a year free, a would United Kingdom has say, Ubetimi, a busa, open home at the Ubetimi, a busa, what on a 20 years, 5 years, 3 years, 2 months, a fain water cromia, now person would cheat a crummy hand crater, a quite bay and our fast war. And the baby disa and commoning in ano, nemo mainly ye topica and then ye babeka was some of a domestic violence. Would to me a gina domestic violence so and ya jinkrata e will crumiha and call for be bray and ya web or bit to make of over crumiha no or tretemo. There be a been last week Saturday and command my ye didn't know your moon some who could would the number was in a season and crater or passport to crowd o visa card e kura wo no agye o bank card no agye why ye adwuma 1 year 7 months oba na season usika almost 20 something thousand wo kwa adwuma abanku e na wo de ko eye die baade e no ye abuse anase eye die baade enipa ne betimi agina so a obtaining an indefinite leave to remain anase obi no wote ho no yes domestic violence no e no ne se wa bo wa twa wa so ba ko wa kaw woni wukuna ko woni wo yira ko wa kekaw oba bi wo ba wo de be ma na aba abrochire de bia na oba ni twa na so no wayi ne sabi ne pieto ato ho wayi ne panty ato ho semeba no wasi obuni nsa na be ma na esie eno no eye de ba de en na ye bedi nkomo na betin sembebre lawyer wo any update wo
ho right update there all to do with second coronavirus concession is here. We've said it several times. The deadline is 31st of August this month. Those who came here on a visitor's visa this month is you have up to this month ending to extend your leave or leave the country, because as you know, a lot of countries have opened their borders already. Ghana, we have opened from 1st September, so there is no excuse unless you make an application, or if you can't go for other reason, you have to ask for a special kind of indemnity in order to be able to stay, in order to not to destroy your immigration history. Because if you are somebody who wants to be given the chance to come here, maybe you want to go to Ghana back and be able to come here regularly, you had a 5-year multiple entry visa. Some of them have 2 years, some of them have 5 years, and then you came and got stuck here because of the pandemic, and you want to go back, and you don't have any reason for making an application for leave to remain. Either it's because of your family life, or because you've been given a job by a company who cannot get anyone but you have to obviously get a company letter to confirm that they have given you a job. So basically they will be sponsoring you to extend your leave. If you're one of those people that don't have any such luck, or don't have such opportunity, or do not intend to live here, then you have up to 31st of this month to return to your country of origin, because most of the countries are both opening their borders. That's all I would say on the update front.
Okay, not just say
So-
update no. Nigeria for na minimum say I extend the amount for free from Nigeria for the yemi mo this into Canada for Nigeria nibi.
So
Who
they-
ni
those-
pakrana wuti me no Canada uno be neto a Canada for
Yeah.
Nigeria
If
for
you are
the
a
extended
Nigerian,
amount.
or obviously other countries whose borders are not opening in September are in the same kind of categories. Your border is not opening in September, then you are one of those that can apply for that special indemnity, so that you don't end up overstaying, which will affect your future immigration, your visas that you make. So that is the information I want to give to everybody. Now we have to move on to the topic for today, which is domestic violence. Domestic violence is, when we talk about domestic violence, it's a very sensitive topic that unfortunately happens. You know, people, whether it's a man or a woman, it happens to all of you. Now-
they are mixing the man away.
You know, it happened to a man, so I'm going to explain that in English according to the Home Office. And you know, you have domestic violence or family members who have domestic violence between them. They don't have any family immigration issue. So for instance, your husband or your wife is violent against you. There are things that you do in the family front, and there are things that you can do in the criminal front, and then there are things that you can do in the immigration. Today we're going to talk about immigration, domestic violence in immigration, and how you can make an application as a victim if you're a victim of domestic violence. So I'm going to mix the language a bit when it comes to some of our Ghanaian listeners who do not understand, but they may be victims and they don't know how to go about making an application, and especially how to go about what to do when it happens to them. Do you understand? So we are Ghanaian in a so we are victim of domestic violence, and then we change much of domestic violence because you can't say domestic violence. You know, be so be a boy soon and can be a cow, be a team and not a domestic violence, but a according to the Home Office, what is domestic violence? Domestic violence, according to the Home Office, is any incident or a pattern of incidents of controlling behavior, abusive, violent behavior against or between people who are over 16 and in a relationship, in a relationship of marriage or partnership or a family member, irrespective of whether the person is a man or a woman. So it doesn't matter your gender or your sexuality. In this day and age, we have to talk about sexuality. So you can be a victim of domestic violence even if you are in a civil partnership relationship. So we're talking about gay and lesbian partners, as well as straight partners. You can all be. So it's not for people who are straight. So
Straight
the Home
partner
Office,
mean anything.
not gay or lesbian.
When you're from straight, no.
Yes. So the Home Office, according to the Home Office, is an incident or a pattern of incidents. A pattern. So incident that's been carrying on. If your domestic violence, Home Office for say domestic violence in the year. Say asem bi a esie anase nsem mo ACCA a year control ni pan all control anase ye violence all bo anase behavior bi a church or person control life. So what you say a pattern a twice or echo. Today what we're going to talk about is how you can make who you'll be a victim as I may describe you who fall into that victim a bad thing and why that domestic violence application application be a amanama it leads to when you make a domestic violence application or an application as a victim of domestic violence, it's an indefinite leave to remain application.
Hey, it
That's
is
your
and
making.
a crown abe kurumi ha.
Yes.
Not domestic violence, no cause what?
Yes.
Your man will indefinitely leave to remain.
So if you're successful,
Hey.
you get indefinite leave to remain. That is
Wow.
why there are lots of things that you have to look at. Because domestic violence victims, the Home Office considers you as victims. One, even if, this is what I want to say, even if your leave to remain has expired, First of all, you have to come in here to be able to make a domestic violence application. Your visa has to be one that is a partner, either a straight partner or civil partnership. So it has to be either a partner, spouse, or unmarried partner, or somebody who is a civil partnership, or you are a partner of somebody who is in the army. Do you understand? Somebody who is in the army. So your husband may not have indefinite leave to remain. So with the partnership, what's the name? Normally you come here to join your husband or your wife who is either a British national, or has indefinite leave to remain. Because obviously, if you have extension of leave to remain yourself, you cannot sponsor somebody to come here as your wife or your husband.
Na student for ne also student or more bar or more
there no any partnership.
And to a
This is, I'll talk a little bit about it, because there's a talk about it. People are thinking they should include those people. Also, because students a year, but they go to domestic violence. So, but there is a concession for domestic violence which does not cover people like that. So, but ideally, they're also domestic violence. You can make an application using other means, but domestic violence per se is to do with, it covers people who are partners, civil partners, unmarried partners, that kind of thing, of people who have indefinite leave to remain or are British, or if the person is not indefinite leave to remain, they are either serving in the British Army, they've been in the British Army for at least 4 years, serving in the British Army, then you can also use that to apply for domestic violence. So domestic violence does not have to come from the violence that you exercise, does not have to be physical violence. It can be psychological. It can be, how I was describing it, controlling behavior. It can be a way of the person even following you or trying to control the way you behave, so that you can be subordinate to the person. What or brewase. Control life. Na oba krom ha no a oye adwuma o pese adwuma specifically we na woye long hours no ma woye na wo wie so a no agisa no o ma unmie wa nkase account no ni we bie joint account. So what I say, so they open a joint account with you, these domestic violence perpetrators, that's what they domestic violence perpetrators no, they open a joint account with you so that your pay can be coming in. Na usika no na ekom udru he ya udi 2.5 years in a buy enti bia 2.5 years ni mu a obi 6 months na etwem for first few months ne de ono sere kama or there or na or crocro ni ade na medofo na say enti bia obe start e adwuma no ono why ne plan say ho no why na adwuma ono na account no e bi kura sika ni nko ono joint account ono one account sika ni kom. And no account ni call or joint account so that you have access to it. Na or trace card no cry woo ni bi. And or trace can or car or say kawanutu. That kind of behavior. Kawanutu na say one can 1 2 mama na me den krata na be waro me sa ma wa kofi.
Yeah, you waiting cause me
so this is it. So that controlling behavior, it can be a controlling of your assets, the way you behave, so that you can never be independent. They do it so that you can never be independent. You're always dependent on them. It be an outdano. Unye independent da on pesa will be independent. I will call it in yaka say, Missy Kenny may be twata dear, and I say me be money fee. So what I say, so you have no control of your own money or of your own assets, your own resources. You can't one kasa, why ye juma abre enyano on pesa will be control of it.
Lawyer, so me so asemo hansa na me ref misrewa. Lawyer, what about say obi a wodos ni kunu na de na basa na ni kunu no ma me ne papa wa ha. Asemo se mabusa yi oba e wo problem so da na me nyansa. Ni kunu no e na de ne ba ha, ni kunu ne wa amenu e na de ne ba ye. Ni kunu ne ma me ne papa wa ha no mu ni nkrata. E na girl na start adwuma or start adwuma na boy na bie account and a boy na ye direct debit free or no ne get an account I call no ne boy ne ho and what also say supporting money enti girl ne maame say boy ne maame say ono ti a woni nkrata na ne ba na kofa wo ba de ne free Ghana ba no enti bosu bi o so ba ni twia maame ne ka no san twia papa ne ka enti bosu bi no boy no aye asset direct debit from girl na account so my no gift to pay in-law in-law one gift to in-law two and another sika so cobra ne one why the supportive money not just for the support to me fee and no which is or abuse girl no and no catch sister ne say sister no no na say yeah at the end of crowd me yes can be mabusuafo so wo fie me nua no wo fie or say any me ware wo and na 2.5 years so me family in this case ne say the wo chire mu no we no get no betimi agina so because only evidence o bra na ye direct debit ne say gift as a wo na wo de check which is nya get na dey check me ma o ma me ti kurom ha na boso me 200 pounds on come ma me 200 pounds on come papa na wo so ni 500 as 700 say supporting ifie ewo ho enti eno ni say no girl no betimi agina e no so.
Yes, because that is an example of financial abuse and emotional abuse. That is clearly what Cecilia, the Nipasa now were describing. That is what she's suffering, financial and emotional abuse. So it cannot, it's not just physical and it's not sexual. It's abuse in here can say a sexual abuse. And then whenever we say sexual too, people think it's just victims are women. It's not women. We've had women who have wrongfully accused men, their husbands, of raping them when in fact they haven't done so. All of that is abuse. It's a form of abuse. So they know when they say you've raped me, you're going to, or I'm going to call the police and say to the police that you threatened or you raped me. So the person will not be as a man, they're going to, be afraid and towards them, and so that they cannot be independent of them. That is what they do. So the victims are equally. Remember what I said. It does not matter your gender. You can be a victim. It does not matter whether you're a man or a woman. So this program is not geared towards women. Telling women to go and report their husbands or anything like that. The husbands themselves are also victims of domestic violence. Anything, false accusations of rape and everything, it does happen. And some people have gone to prison, and served sentences that they didn't, of rape that it didn't happen. And maybe if you're lucky to come out of it later on, then you're lucky. But some people have not been lucky. All these are some form of abuse that we're talking about, because the person knows that you're going to need them for you to renew your visa. So what I say, nipa no onimsa visa le ba beso, especially na yes sir. Sa behavior no was started na one physical ma me na misika na was started yi usika no kan me bebo waso me be ye say me na me do ba ye enti wo ba ye say kan no tum me sa mo akọ visa na me renew am. It happens a lot, many times that I see these things, and the men, they suffer it as well. It's not just the women. So, and the domestic violence, another thing is also that the abuse does not have to come from the partner. So you may be living with a partner whose parents are abusing you. So for instance, that was what you were saying. The abuse could be coming from the parents. No, how? And I said, back when you over 18, abuse you. But nipa na one net wa on yeshwe wo ho wa che dey nani ahye on yeshwe to protect you. So the person, your partner, is not doing anything to protect you or to stop the abuse from happening, to prevent or stop the abuse from happening. You are a victim of domestic violence. You are a victim, provided you can show. You see, all these things that we're saying, the domestic violence, the incident of the domestic violence or the pattern, before you can make the application, for indefinite leave to remain, you have to show that the incident or pattern of incidents of domestic violence has caused your relationship to break down. So by the time you are making an application, your relationship has broken down. You understand? So you won't even go say,
now lawyer just lawyer go why ya just see treatment because domestic violence maybe before you hear because me crameka senka penitri sa program way because nkofo bebre no mu kunu no mu hyede ma lawyer they are going through hell nkofo bebre no mo yire no e ma mesia wo e no mo yire no mu hyede ma they are going through hell. Last week Saturday asama ye kan ye say ye ya na lady no send a document ni na de bre mo de what the brand ni o me nyina ama no straight away because na onimu sani brand ni betimi agina so nyankrata odu obi ababu ni chiri usu ukunu no ukunu no wa anyi ni sika na ukunu no kwa de anyi ni sika but be ma no ye adwuma na aba wo account what season account what season ne visa almost plastic no de babu chiri no ade plastic head de mo no what season nyina ye tua ne ka 1,300 a month oba abrochi 1 year 7 months ni o ma ne £1 boso me so na wo twa oyster wo twa bas fast na de ama no na wa ye banku no wadi no 1 year 7 months da bi o de banku na kwa adwuma abrofo adwuma de banku kwa adwuma 1 year 7 months no it's almost 20 something thousand 23,000 something and na bra ne omodi asem ne bedame fasika ne mana what's the first na ye single mother na aban ne tua o council tax ne o debe
so oba na ye be
ma sa enti na make say kanitwi because ye ye before no ye hia enkofo bebre kosa domestic violence ma ye nyenim because na make say my sister bia ono ni kunu de na bai ni kunu no mo ya ware for kama oba say e na kura be ma ne na bi because of sikano anyway one ne na me metra brochi no koya adwuma no ba timi sika na de akoma na ma me nso abafio no ma be ye ge no omba no ma be dige na tema na boy ne so we dige na tema
and na me ka say domestic violence no ukunu no ana o yiri na why no does not have to be the one bi ono kwa do wonya ehwedu but the busia ko aye no so no so a wo nye no so support but ono so a won kan say munyai na say oni wo mu frifie ho so wo ti say wo ti fie ho do mo tan woni pa but ono afie ne dia na o se nka fie obekwa mo sa meyire a na kofa na ba na me kunu ti ne nkasasa so what you say so be man and that's oba na wukuni na o ye ni sa no bia obekasa
obe stop
me kunu na meyire na na nkasasa na efifie ha because ono na ye on na baba no so what you say but on kahwe na akoyi so ogina ho no on kahwe enti no enunti no na so ofi se wuntumi biem na asesa wo niema because of abuse na ye dia you can claim
enti na lawyer dia wo kan say ama meti ase say so a domestic violence and answer will go through that situation any kwan say wo tena fie ho
well say if
e was say we move out
I was say who can say even if you
move
not
there why application nana
I don't think you necessarily have to break it, you know, so move out because relationship between you break it down or that attitude we are not separate rooms. So what I say, but to come here, I don't conform move out because we have rooms in each other and also one back of separate room. And I want to make that whole. And I the kayaka DNA on so want to maintain now. So
you can't bear it until also
can't bear it also to move with you. And in it means and let's say with your heart and ya the relationship never break it down. And ya dear who Becca say who caught be a victim of domestic violence or more supported domestic violence victims no. Who call home no mass so we know Becca. Ebusa will say incident in be I say how long na akoso and na it can be a one incident or it can be a pattern of incidents depending on how serious it is. Say you serious say it say a bro wa cause injury obviously being cassette na hon nye pattern answer. You can't stay for it to be so much because you need it to be a pattern and sana because lawyer say will say this series. No, that is not what I'm saying. It can be one incident.
One incident.
It can be one incident. Say all that it means it could be one incident. But say some of these psychological ones, financial ones, emotional ones, they tend to be a pattern. I say
a cost check.
A cost now we are say, oh, Mamisika, sending you with me with a ukun who was out scabbers. Mamisika na feature, I say, for card, mammy, mammy card in the crown. ukogia was not a yede. So what idea you see can see your resources no is being used without you having any authority over the resources. And you know that behavior, no, it's controlling behavior.
Now, lawyer, no, I was say, or report to my police.
Okay,
and
so
I said, because or yenye before no, pay police. I said, Obo was who, me persebution for Becassa, no, my abeche me ba, and one report to me ba.
People suffer a lot because of that. From the beginning, what I said was that you're going to need evidence. Evidence because you have indefinite leave to remain. And see, any idea so we can say, would we room casa because Obu on mobile, na lawyer, so what you say, send a crew, and I'm seeing no women, see, I say, a high a brochure in a home office, in application, be a wee be the evidence, and Mrem be our evidence. So what you say. Nebia asɛm no papa ukunu no obo wa somo ye say ye oye wa kayate o ma ukoda fom o ma ukoda bathroom o ma ukoda bathroom be say 1 week 2 weeks ni ade no what did you do so what you mention say edumu kura timi ko hu ne doctor about we do ho na asɛm no ntumi nka enche doctor be say in actual fact no nipa no masomo obo yi e na ama mo de ada me so o si bia bibi na wo me so me glasses e na glasses ne wo me nsa ko wo me ni
so me abono
enti doctor lady say wan kan ono no wo so nsa na akọ wani a na wa ma friend say
eni adru eye drops
fa gugu wani so na wa san du kofi na wo be hu obi ti say me na me say o si me lawyer me bomb asu na mo ja ada me so wo ko hu lawyer na wo doctor na dia asem na aka che no manka na me misro say bia na doctor na free police because obviously say wo ko hu doctor na aka che so ku na abo wani so ama mo ja ada wani so or try to say or convince you say you need maybe we can give you a number of a friend say domestic violence support team or you know some helpline or the police to report what report on the police. So what I say now I can understand some people because we go on ma further threats we show say the bushia for be man no kwa hwe na akwa because make us say e be of police station ho a onye na dwen so ko be o sa a police for any free no okofia na oye ne dey na ni pay be man ko pay bibi bona and he said if there is an incident like this and you're going to report it you have to be prepared to go through a near mark was so we because you leave to remain because I'm not saying to people say unu kunu enya kasa kakra bia e was so provoking no obo na we I'm talking to people who are genuine domestic violence victims. So what I say, people who are feel as if say 2.5 years and then showing. And year border soon now was so timid train. No team,
5 years.
Now we are indefinite. We are on a new negotiation team. So what I say, if you are not one too indefinite. So what I say, it could be damage, it could be death, it could be anything. So this is what the domestic violence thing application is about. So far as there is an incident or pattern of incidents of controlling abusive and coercive behavior, abusive behavior affect to nipa no only what relationships such as a partnership or marriage or civil partnership, you can rely and then the behavior no behavior no has led to the relationship breaking down. The relationship breaking down, no, just say, was so no pam once. So be a victim of domestic violence who says a behavior then it means the relationship has broken down. And worry ni pani because specifically because of that domestic violence and you are the victim. And it doesn't have to come from nipana wa no nebusuafo ne baby otifie and ye nipano enya ho hwe. Into we say me kunu no mabe me expect so be protecting me against your friend is a balance and now ba ebo masumu and so unua ba edidi matem or didi matama for some time why him say yeah for some time
and now lawyer will be say I'm going through a lot, please help me. Sweetheart me pacho me friend will say bra so my friend say be comment into the men comment you are friend lawyer eno nti na me teste wono ye wi afre lawyer na one lawyer entwetwe enkomo chakra ye be phone lines atum na obia any lawyer edidi enkomo mema lawyer kasa bebre mi bebusa lawyer questions bebre ewo ye enkomo a ye die ho we oh en enkomo a ye die akọ simple yo nipa a mo hwe ensoso no enkofo bebre ehia enye wo mu mpa omo aware a wo moti aware ase ye nua no mo ama ware ye cabbage no e wose motimase because lawyer wa ha enti mekasa wo kasa bebuo mu e de akere mo ye nua no mu bi wo hwa ha ma ware na ma ware no eye entonturawa eye soneye monti de me pese me kire mo na se nipa no oji enfie num no e de ma awo oji 2.5 years no e de ma awo no waje ntoma num waje ntoma nsia enkamini wuni asem wuji won ntoma wie ye no menni wo mienu nyina ya awe se wo be ye me ho ade a me kasa wo kasa bebuo mu na de akere mo ya mamre mu no wo be ye obi ho ade na wo waje won ntoma waje wo bibia me ne wa wie menni wuni bibia ye bio ekopem mo se ewiase besen enti obi wo hɔ a waware di pana wie no ye di ne fie num ne hye ne nsɛm a enfie ba ko aba enfie mienu aba bra ne hia lete wo mesan lete we ma me age se wo ma me ntoma num lawyer me kasa bebu mu atemase ati ntoma na se ana wo wonte kasa bebu ase wo te ntoma ase Femani. Okay. Ebia. Enfie ba ko aba. Bra wo yo Eugene. Mesra wa o mesan lete we ma me. Eni ade so ma me ntoma mienu. Ade so ma me ntoma nan. Obi wo wa wote continent. Wa ware ne yere ne na ne yere ne te ha. Muntie de me kana se. Wo twa ticket wo kɔ ne kurom ho. Oh bra Eugene. Ya de lete bia bo bra o mana me ya o me ha de ma me age so ma me ntoma nan lawyer obi wo hɔ a oni ne kunu na tie lawyer wo ne smart mo me tira lawyer se lawyer me ni me kunu na tie me fa se me kunu ne Eugene na me ni Eugene na tie Eugene age mfie mi enum e de ama me mfie num because yi fo ade no ne tezi pa mfie num Eugene mfie num omo no mo tire victim pa yi fo omo tire victim pa lawyer waje mfie num no e de ama me mfie num yi wo be konfie num yi sana wanya on indefinite leave to remain okay Eugene mfie num ya fe de wa decide say on tena ye kuro mi ha because obekọ no aba e bi kura nso awati ekuro mi ha me ne tie Eugene menya lete wo mehwe ma me because me depending on Eugene enti bibia meye bia na bi o ha gese me Eugene hu e na Eugene aboa me boa
sponsor ya
on me sponsor enti bi o ho kura na me pese me ko school a ana se menya lete bia e wo se Eugene eba e bi o ho kura wo ko BGP kura na me pese me ni Eugene enkonko BGP no ya tino se ana pese me kan brofo
no me say
na Eugene wo besiri koja me na me enkonko BGP Eugene menya leta bi wo ma na me sign wa ha me pese me ko school Eugene wo ma me sign wa ha ma me wo se me sign jontome enum me indefinite no eba abeso no me di mfie mienu emfie miensa Eugene da bia wo sori a wa ma me 10 entoma ba ko a indefinite ne so amenye ma wa ama me ntoma mienu a wo indefinite ne so amenye ma wo so me ne wo kase no wa je me entoma cabbage fo asem na make enti lawyer ono ne sa na yama ne mfie nu da bia na ne kunu ne sine so e na ama me 1 pound e na ama me 2 euros for euro to my account for 1 pound to my account ono no nipa ne sa no ono so betimi agina so agina indefinitely to remain what did they make kind as
I said yeah me church domestic violence and yeah physical abuse you would describe it a financial abuse
financial abuse you for the financial no the problem financial abuse
so we're talking about genuine applications and financial abuse you can show that these financial abuses are the reason why in Tilipano only because we EU for the almost one domestic violence and provisions are ultimately applications.
Sir.
Yeah. Domestic violence way in your domestic and the immigration rules. what I've been talking about, but it's similar to domestic violence. They say domestic violence. So I'm describing as to what the domestic violence is from the beginning. Who you knew, who you victim, or you victim, but you follow or more forms in the
application
and crack a settlement. Or one also be a British
or we indefinite and also British and a nuclear army no almost so dear.
And what I've been talking about this morning, domestic violence and the immigration rules. But it doesn't mean say we EU near also to mean domestic violence, we EU spouse also bet me a domestic violence application. It's the same thing. I'm coming to the evidence I also show.
So yes,
I am coming to the evidence I also show. Before I go into the evidence, like I said, domestic violence, it does not have to be come from the person you are married to. It can be a family member, and those who can apply also are obviously partners of these family members. But your other family members can also apply, like an in-law. Your in-law can also apply if they have been affected, because if the person they are relying on, or a stepchild. So, for instance, your husband, you are married, you came on a spouse visa with your son, who is not the father, who is not the son of your husband. Stepchild. Or your stepchild. Into stepchild, wabanoma, ukuna banoma no. So we application almost bit rely on it.
Wow.
And your in-law. And then also, how do you make the application? You make application by filling the necessary forms. Which you have fee. Na fee no, and me person me can say domestic violence or concession or domestic violence victims say unisika say bia what I was describing earlier about financial abuse. Your husband has taken your money, you don't even have control of the account, you don't have money in the account to pay the home office fee, and then you can apply for the fee waiver.
And no way to apply for fee waiver because
you don't have it, or you are a victim of the matter, you've left home. And that is why the domestic violence, there is no time limit. In the domestic violence, you said you have 2.5 years now they buy and now because of we are victim into one to near crana, so 2.5 years now. You need to make an application for before your current 2.5 years expires. Before you can, you'll be in trouble unless you have a good reason within 14 days as to why you couldn't renew your application. But with domestic violence, it's different. Even if your visa has expired, you can go ahead and expand any time. There's no time limit on it. That is what I want to say. So you can apply. Either you have your money and you pay your money and pay. The fee is the same as the indefinite leave to remain application that you're making. But if you want to rely on the concession where you can get a fee waiver out of it, you can apply for the fee waiver. They still go through your bank statement, I'm sure bank statement, any pay slips in it. If because of domestic violence in juma and now only bank account and now say account what me I apply for fee waiver. And there is this concession where domestic violence even immediately is seen. What me apply for 3 months leave to remain, exceptional leave to remain, because you're a victim before
your process.
It gives you something to work with, and during that time, you could be entitled to housing,
benefits,
protection. Yes. So let's come to the evidence. And send out your application before you can make an application as a victim of domestic violence. As I said to you, it's not just you fill out the form and says on such and such a date I was a victim of domestic violence, and that's it. You need to have done something about it. So we were saying that with people from ethnic minority, because of our culture and everything, it's difficult for some people to report their husbands or their wives to the police. For men, it's an embarrassment for people to know that they've been beaten up by their wife, or their wife is maltreating them, because obviously they are the man and then they want to be the one that are in charge. But if something like this happens and you're not in charge, then obviously it's embarrassing. But remember that you need to show evidence that you have been a victim of domestic violence. Otherwise, you may be a victim, but you will have problems. So one of the stronger evidence is obviously involving the police arrest and a charge. if the person is charged with a domestic violence incident, they cause you injury or they charge, it's likely that you have a strong case in case you want to make an application for domestic violence. And say a domestic violence victim, make can say, evidence, can say, acquire bomb, say, no. Now expect to say lawyer and fill the gaps in the mouth, say lawyer, what you say, especially somebody like me, you come to me because I'm a Ghanaian and I can speak your language, you expect me to fill out the form for you and put in, give you pointers as to and some about me honor. Unless it's said obviously, you see but if you're ready to make an application, I will tell you that did you report the incident? Were there witnesses and that kind of thing? Say a serious incident, nasa no police for chinipano, nasa resulting in court, nasa you charging pano with a conviction. A convicting part obviously is very strong. You don't need any evidence. The fact is that Nipano ebo one in a court na ya convicting, you don't need any more. That is enough. The conviction as somebody who they hit you or they assaulted you and they got a conviction, that is enough for you to be successful in a domestic violence application. I'm not saying say Nipano more. Again, I'm repeating it. Can't you say Nipano nyewa for intro to Nipano to say we are here for genuine victims of domestic violence. And this is a serious subject. This is a serious that we're not saying to people, go and report this, go and report it. So, court conviction, it's, it is a final kind of evidence. You don't need any more. And then evidence that the CPA, the police, the CPS or Criminal Prosecution Service are taking action against that person is also a strong evidence for you to be successful in domestic violence application. And then when it comes to it, family members, so you're a victim of domestic violence, apart from police, you go to court and what you do is you get injunction against the person. Injunction in family law, and you either say, obey non-molestation. Injunction, actually say you're getting the person stay away from you, maybe the threat or border, why report my police, and now what they are my lawyer, not lawyer say, apply for injunction. Do I advise you say, put me in injunction? Say the beya, Obano and I say, Ukuna and I say, Ontim me bo be, and I say, Ontim threaten and I say, Kayaka dear no day yo, Ontim yipping. Ain't here court, na ye was a court to say, Ontim ma about 100 meters or 150 meters away from you, or in your area. Say, be out a Camberwell Green. Yes, Ukunu, ni kwanso oba sa specific area. Street B, which is Lomond Grove. Ni kwanso oba Lomond Grove number, 99 to 103. Ni kwanso oba only access. Ni kwanso oba. This our injunction, libeti miaye specifically not to say oba ufi, but even with street in the Soprani, libeti miaye say more maho. So what I say, that if you can get an order like that, or if there is an order like that, then that also, you don't need anything else because the order says itself, said you have been a victim of domestic violence. So what I say, anti court, police arrest alone, police arrest and no one. The fact is, say who no more, yeah, no afraid police. Anti remember, say who afraid police, I may have a chino, say we domestic wabo, say police for you issue. That's a wow, remember, say you can be in trouble. So what I say, ni panel more. On year now would him say, be a what program, we now need to make me issue domestic violence because the man brought me in penny. It makes me issue domestic violence.
And you may be cry, is it last year, not this year? This year, Obi ne new kunu, so I and the boyfriend so you new kunu, one more coin. Now me say, not girl, no name say. Girl, new kunu is over 30 get a 30-year program apart. And not getting him so afraid could tibe few while or more about baby. Or Fred Kotibe Fiwa, Kotibe Babe Pam, Nukuno, Nikuni a mental health doctor. Or Babe Pam Nukune everywhere, I will not get no Atenefio, no dear na application and grata. Kotif one by Mombe Pamo gave him Mufron or Case, Papa Nimu shed akora no because akora no e wo disability na papa ne doctor or ye mental health doctor e no be pam o ge ni mo free fie ho ne ka papa no e wo fie wo ti ge ne frɛ me na mbusa ne sɛ ye dan no chiche mo na msa sister wudi fo ade a wo ye kuti fo ba ye no be pam wo mo pam papa no enti de lawyer kan ya ne nkofo ni mu sɛ bibini ni report to my police police fo ba meka say abomi a wo mbeba be fa nipa na kode bi sa na tie lawyer apart from say we report to my police and now say we give court order for injunction na dia to ne so no obi wo ho a police no injunction no because lady na meka na asem no ho be ma ne wo baba ako na be ma ne bakora timi be fie ho na ni kunu na ka kire ne se won koda ho na ne one ne ba ne na bedroom ne ba ne so ye panimu no one ne na bedroom sister is o siesie ne hokora na akora ne timi ba ho akora panimu wo timi ba ho na wo siesie ne ho enti ono ne se no so won timi mfre police onti we nye police asem onti me mfre we enti ono ne die we se no evidence we
so we no yeah emotional psychological and emotional abuse and no people you can talk to your doctor about it, how that is affecting you. So what you want to go find you know so we say affect you they are fine now. But something affected the marriage or anything.
Or no, say any partner that financial abuse, no. Yet nisika, yet titi nisika na so no. There manankasa edie no. Into no evidence way.
Evidence, will be in the form of
the bank statement nana.
The bank statement transfer because the bank statement the problem a woman say a woman has a joint account. The Home Office can even say so okay a joint account in Nipan is all entitled to show the community country. So what I say, rather than say be a account and a wajit account or send this account, and even that in the ground there is a way the Home Office can argue, but say a bank account you need other supporting evidence account. The bank account either say is a witness. Now, witnessing is difficult to get because obviously
or recordings
your landlord could also be incidents of all these things happening, or somebody who is an independent person on your down for. If you cry or your bear man bush or because yes,
now there be bush for mom na ebruwi or recordings bear man no wa be fie na bear man ne ko and tokwan didi na tem or sa voice recordings ni na ho and when you
or tokwan didi na tem dey send tokwan dey see wo most relationship with didi na tem dey and no kwan na make say a pattern or a series documents say nye ankoye ebi wo ho no mo a court order na America and no nya bibi aka say ya dey na convicted and na say when you non-molestation order specifically with facts showing say you've been a victim of domestic violence and no nya no a let it be and flu be a one. But a bit me about so victim of supporting a victim of domestic violence, almost my letter. So Omutia wasn't no mufio mama supporting it to say this person has been a victim of domestic violence. So just say and also GP can refer you to psychologists and speak to you and the psychologist can give you if depending on how long it's gone on, psychology makes me a letter to support. So what I say, intino say police a conviction, a court order, maybe family court order, and I say a letter from a friend saying strong letter from victim
GP
of domestic violence, the GP. Then with all this evidence of bank accounts and everything, other things come to say be a witness. So the incident and how when you reported it is very crucial when you reported it. Or who on my freeway I feel and not realize this be it's in that this program helps a lot of people because one share say we in be here and sana then koso no matena ho no ma anya ho hwe police will say a friend say wonu say ho chill but will be say ukunu no akofa waba na wo kwa order na come police so what I say but if this one also you're suffering genuinely you're injury you're waiting for the person to cause serious injury to you and sana what report here now. So some of these things, by the end of the day, some of these people no one can say when it comes to it, that's some tool that's the way put our pie, because all only be evidence on you or customer made them investment involved will be our reason. I don't want to be involved. So you need to really think and maybe seek legal advice from the beginning. So what you say, seek legal advice and say, this is to be a lawyer, this is what I'm going through, my husband, me, I love him dearly, or my wife, I love her dearly, but this is what is happening. So what you say, what do you think I can do? And see, we don't want people to be feel as if there is no help. Whatever you're going through, you need to be staying in it. You need to stay in the abusive environment and abusive behavior just because you think that your visa will not be extended for you because the person who is extending your visa is the abuser. You see, so that is why we're saying so we need legal advice, and then that's it. Yeah. So a GP letter, a hospital letter, a police report of domestic violence incident, arrest or any witnesses will have to come with something else. Bank statement that we're talking about, bank account, people taking people residence card and then giving them a copy to show to their employer, even when the employer needs it. No, I copy a common employer. Or one side an email, I copy a common employer as a woman to me shop residence card. We've had that before, where you panel what you know, buy an OG and no the residence card natural. Into where you may yaws if I did in the email, send it to one farmer. So what I say, if that is the kind of evidence you have, which are not strong on their own. So these kind of evidence, your bank's account that shows that money has been taken out, or your money has been taken out by your partner. You have to have other evidence in addition to that. But those evidences on their own do not satisfy the requirement. So it's a weak or a moderate kind of evidence that you need. You need a strong evidence like a court order, a conviction, CPS action being taken against Nepal. So what I say, I some no court and I say when you non-molestation order, na injunction. It says a bear man more baby no on the bow beam, and I say on ma being contacted with being contacted to threaten any threatening behavior they own to me. And no yet strong evidence you show say we are victim of domestic violence. It is always evidence now. You can't make an application. And as we said, as I said earlier, if you don't have the money and the time your visa has run out, it does not matter. You can always make the application even if your visa has run out as a domestic violence victim, and you can apply for fee waiver if you are destitute, if you can show that you're destitute. But immediately you have a concession if you are a partner whose visa, your visa was based on your you being a partner, so you have a 2.5 years based on your partnership or your marriage with somebody who is British, or somebody who is has got indefinite leave to remain, or somebody who is serving in the armed forces and has served in the armed forces for at least 4 years. Then you can apply for the concession where you can get about 3 months leave to remain immediately, and then whilst you're making preparations to apply for your indefinite leave to remain as a victim of domestic violence.
Oh, we are no maybe phone lines at 2.
Yeah, I think so you can open it and then
maybe. Okay. And Mercy, also please, lawyer, is Home Office still taking a credit card? Please, I want to know. Home Office
credit card for what? For applications?
I think so.
Yes, you can use your credit card for applications. Any card, the list of cards, Visa, all cards. But what you can't use is your savings cards and
savings account.
Savings account.
So be to me free.
And this all transfer, yeah.
Echo normal accounting. So it's here for us and beto aso no afei no aka wa mema wa chen mema wa kwaba mema wa jo e de ba e court presidential seat so wo pe legal matters papa what legal matters papa dia what legal matters papa dia and ye na make kire wo se Abnas campaign platform so ko an e na wo benya sa de wa ha se wunya no ba bia bio wonya no baabia ebiom ewo ahase enti mesre wa ankasa edru eye every Tuesday si anopa bia na woni ye ntena se na woni ye entwetwe nkomo yegu esuma na woni ye entwetwe enkomo wo betimi afra any question bi apeso busa se efa ene nkomo a ye die ne ho se emfa nkomo a ye die ne ho no wo betimi afra question bi apeso ofra bia ofra me pacho me modin wo de wo fra ya no na wachia lawyer no wo busa no question bi a opese wo busa bia domestic violence de ye nya bi before ya na ye mpesa wo enso ye na ye ho kire ye papa ye mpesa ye bebo so kura ma obi ameka se ene wakoche wo yire no wakoche ukunu bemba bi wo wa wo kromi ha sei obobona pa wo hyedem a wo obobona pa number ni ye 00447502422799. Okay, Mesita to say, Ghanaians, when you report a fellow Ghanaian, you become their enemy for the abuse. Oh, and yes, I'm not yeah, can. Hello, Medofo Pam. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, sweetie. Me pacho yan come modi.
We program now we na pese baswa kana. The lawyer kana why the initial the person contribution that create the domestic violence.
Me pacho kasa me ya. Yes, darling, sweetie kasa.
The pacho me is solely based on the person na two foreign kind of UK. You know, na say you been young say domestic violence no. So the internal physical abuse and so other ones are psychological abuse and emotional abuse and so on. Will be committed now so a application, but something else as well it's mostly based on evidences. So me and my brother what is psychological abuse and emotional abuse is now so a application and my home office I can say indefinitely to remain. But evidence is near very much based. We know me kind of in general say. I also wish I say quickly more evidence. So we are all go through psychological abuse and emotional abuse. Yeah, number one, the GP offer when you find all the time. The GP is very important. The PI also psychological abuse in my GP in our way. Number two, domestic violence for victim support for also one way. Now I'm creating assessments at the PAMA. Not the PI, no catch one, no documenting. Now, for the last one, they police said the lawyer kind, or not police fire away. Just saying, who go through. Now, what other evidence is seen there, we nothing. We have to take some, you didn't say because people are going through a lot of psychological abuse and emotional abuse of overseas. And yet, a man, one man now. So, they can't remember that. In the unit, know what to say the part, just because I can't say, yeah, none of them did so I say, it's the old thing, if you are or that problem, when you are receiving documents now. More GP, victim support, police now. Or my BPI because you are documented and so not only things one. Now, more GDC BPI, I fine. And yet, there's a card using one any national domestic violence application.
Emotional.
It's in so we Jamie and American my country.
Me that's a bar, Brian, me that's it. Yo, maybe I'm a child, Mamma WhatsApp number, no, the same number now. Obey me a friend or WhatsApp. And so, baby, I will be able to me after offer me patcho, me modi, or the offer ya question be a person busalo ye piano. Now a busa and fat emotional abuse, and fat and that topic in a year can one. The opposite busa piano.
Anything to do with fee waiver, extension of leave to remain. Those who want to extend as family members, a parent of a family child, you have 10-year route and you want to switch to the 5-year route. You don't have money to pay for the home office fee or that kind of thing. I've had people who have just had children who are British. They don't have anywhere to live. Even to get a letter from where they live, because you know when you're making the application, you need a letter from the person who is providing you with the accommodation. Now the difficulty is
then now your application when you let free baby I will be make
application
course in hello, Medofo. Hello. Yes, darling, sweetheart, young community. Yes, sweetheart.
Good morning, Sister Brandon Lawyer Janet.
Good morning, me too, Kachi. Yes, yeah, when you're paying call.
But I'm pretending this your friends say, I didn't say your friends about the nurses, nurses, no, free gun, and pretending this say, your friends say, a test, no, Coco, didn't test because you are called with the British Council on, but almost see your friend, you know,
now, English test,
your friend is a level, something.
Oh, okay.
Yo, sweet sister Joyce, me patron also you offer lawyer PK and answer Friday nyame adoma join me.
Okay.
Because for nurses lady or no and dealing with the nurses no. Why?
Okay.
And na omu mie e September nyame adomo a and na omu ebebie e de atu. Why?
Okay.
It's Friday and I me that say. Hello, me do for me patron yen kasa me modi sweetheart.
Hello.
Yes, darling.
Miss Pacho, good morning.
Good morning, sweetie. I'm coming, Modi.
Pacho, Mr. Sunday, this afternoon, who 2.5 years, now say, okay, so we renew, and now we take benefit. I do home office fee,
Home office fee ni dey say who wan apply for fee waiver there you beje. So what you say e was say woman answer na wo be your application no wo application ni best on no say wo say wo ye no. Won twen ma na nso ansa. E be ka be 2 months na bibisa. Na why your application for fee waiver no say won ni sika a wo de betua home office fee no. Enya sa ye say benefit no say ukura card na extra so wobetimi age benefit no enye afebo time bia wo renew bia so renew on so
What fee waiver no fee waiver
no so onu so age benefit to card enti no also age fee waiver now so who apply for no recourse to public funds so
okay
enti automatically obi a age no recourse to public funds ni na no fee waiver no e ma wo e bia obetimi di you don't pay the fee and you don't pay the NHS as well.
Okay. Enti mame what you say na chese wo gi benefit kra na still no e was so apply for BB a friend fee waiver and sana home office if well e dey achieve free.
Okay, you that's it.
All right, Miss me that's it. Hello, Medofopa. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, darling, me patcha yan come moding. Hello, sweetie uncle. Hello. Okay. What the so the same number na and the was at me pancho me use numbers me no ma me say why the atoto so and na I Dawson and so at the atoto so at there Dawson numbers no enyina egugu so 10044 7861 705 200 another number so 0044 00447502422799. Hello, made up for yes, darling, young sweetie. Hello, yes, darling. Good morning.
Good morning. This is number to lawyer.
Yeah, Joseph, sweetheart.
I think this lawyer said, who was 2.5 years, who was outside with us, or with bigger number, who was 2.5 years, like who was 3 years to try. What is the shortest we have this union settlement? I think my 3 years after 3 years, you want some 5 years, you want some content to be here, but the union in 10 because I want to come.
Right, so 3 years, no. Used to be saying I don't think they give 3 years.
Say 3 years.
2.5 years. Discretionary leave.
Yes.
There was never a first part no more 2 years. Now what they call 5 years. Now 5 years you don't get the 5 years together. You get it 2.5 years, 2.5 years. 2 free a year ban. Who the 2.5 years never. To 2.5 years in this one no one renew. That is the quickest route. If you're coming as a spouse, that is the quickest. There's no other quickest route. If you want the quickest route to citizenship, that is the quickest route. Because who travel 5 years in the year now, that indefinite, indefinite way now, which me apply for British citizenship.
Quickest route to near domestic violence. And no lawyer no be okromi ana no. Yama o 10 years domestic violence maybe ma yama we indefinitely remain. Hello, Medofopa.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Abena.
Yes, darling. Good morning, sweet Atienko.
I can be chairman lawyer.
It does.
Lawyer say, and I will come. I say, my dear, bracelet from the now, Mr. Kelly. No can to Abba, but the person will give you money. But application, I mean, I'm before next and as well. The court website when I say, bracelet no, Mayfair no.
EU exit document and no now show who upload the
EU exit
document.
Raote EU or see EU exit document. Me ba cho wa betimi atwere gusu ma me why EU exit document mo am pesa mo ye preset on setting status no EU exit documents bra okay
yo
but it's a na say finding it difficult because if you finding it difficult to do it still with the app and you can always contact me after program no now then we can arrange appointment.
Why? Hello, good morning, Medofopa.
Hello.
Yes, darling, sweetie uncle.
Yeah, but your friend is Steven.
Emodi Grado, Yanko. Pacho Yanko.
Yeah, but your friend is Steven. The person is on program is Kaka.
Me Pacho Casa, sweetie.
Yeah, the Pacho, the same with the EU, UK EU settlement scheme. If I show me the person who say, also apply for NI now, EU resident. Sadly, that's why I say NI applications.
Who says, Opesa, which I said, because who's a free continent? Who UK and NASA continent?
Continent Belgium.
And to Opesa Busa say, who Belgium, who bet me apply for NI no, ever.
But then if we just say, maybe you can make my apply for NI, say, okay.
Okay. I know you know.
So,
I saw
NI for no, say, or appointment September. Who appointment is September, and now we could say a lot of people have backlog of cases or more train. This is Uber had say they want to travel back. You can request an application. Apply, yeah.
Rame Pachon, Uber one day, Uber me here, Uber bit me apply. Why?
Bit my apply.
Aye.
Okay.
You.
Maybe September.
September, Yamea Duma, Obiaba Quaduma by force. Hello, Medofopa. Yes, I say. Hello. 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 Yes, darling. Me Pacho Busan, why, uncle? Also,
home office for my discount to be out, was already so more citizens. Or do you get any discount? Not that I know of. I know all Colano. Yeah, it's in Colombia, it's an opposite. Okay, any or no, so far as I'm concerned, if it's somewhere 10 grams now with you.
Home office for the Mujisico, Tim Kramias, and you're talking about nearly 4,000.
But you know, there was a case where it was a win against the Home Office about Nkodai fee. Still, they haven't implemented.
And it's still there, court, but it's still our more air count. M say, this year or you almost October, you better to home office. NHS, you know, so much prices number. British passport to know your mom for my own. Sister, train October, I be a no matter so. Okay. Train. And yes, I will bet you into so I. No discount.
No discount. First one and only and half price.
Okay. First now me and a half price.
That's why now for the I say half price or thereabouts. There was a nay lower than paying
For registration, no.
for even home office applications.
No, half price.
Yeah.
Me pacho wa first see and na me connect over wakati to bit me as Sanfre. Hello, good morning, me dofopa.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, darling, pacho no yeti.
Me pacho me kuta explore how. Na manya me yasingi pele manya partner. Tutu manya partner. Na kanu say yes kaki school. Nti esi a o tumi after kwandi so a o nso betumi bi afela na agibia na.
Who cross say 2.5.
Me pacho
And our partner no eba no and start school.
Me ba no start.
Lenny no lawyer me pacho me ba.
But me ba no start.
Sister Gina so loyalty confusion bi wa ha. My pian bi. Sister T. Akra na no ye British. Because
Akra no ye British.
Ne ba ni ye.
So one in the papa no. And no papa me ma.
Enti akra ne papa na je British ma akra no.
Ai obeti me.
Akra ne papa na je British ma akra no.
And
the stepfather neighbor
why it friend me after program?
Yeah, we are friend lawyer why no what wedding. Yo. Okay. Me pacho wa na me connect no me sra wo me mistakenly na eyi wo free so nti wo betimi asan afre wo fra me pacho me modi ba bia wo bia no wa wo busa WhatsApp no betimi afre me pamocho any question bia na wo pese wo busa lawyer bia no concerning immigration legal matters bia no wo betimi abusa no kwan ben na befa so a be obtain wo right e wo United Kingdom what na krom ha che kwan ben na befa so a wo be ye won krata say home office wo mu eye adwuma na ma mo ye fingerprint no about 3 weeks ago ye be kan ye e wa ha say omo ka say 1st of August omo implement a facial debe lawyer na
recognition
facial recognition no omo ye enti no insa some be kwa ye fingerprint na say ye de monim e na e ba be ye eno no ye be bo omo dawuro e be side ni be di asa some me de nyame asa say ye de yenim e na e ye because obi o wa ya born nsa no e bebre e wo ho ontumi enye e na won so pese wo kware obi wo kware wo yire wo kware wo kunu e de ni free Ghana e de ne ba e kwan ben so e na wo betimi afa so a wo betimi e de aba say o person wo adopt obi yiyifo na mo wo adoption bi no say still no eda so wo ana mi ankasa me ma de nyina na say wa break it to the sweet queen mother nana unkwa so anope me ho se wa kan ye ho. Hello, good morning, Medofoba.
Hello.
Yes, darling, me pacho me modi yenko.
Pacho yo me kataki Germany.
Yo sweet yenko. Yeah, just see that.
German resident permit for now. But my partner now maybe I'm
yeah.
Like I couldn't do what said rating about joining and I mean what baba.
What's my worry? My worry of fear dear, no more evidence of my worry. Yes, after you free moi, who wait me up joining the still. Under the current rules and what was he say? So one worry no near free more, free walk or worry what. And no rules in the best. So what you say? But say I know the what worry no dear. What worry now your close family member no dear. You free move December no cry. Or wait me the what still. Why?
Hello, good morning, Medofo Papa.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, darling, me pacho yenko.
Na me shira mo aduma mo die ma bra woni lawyer dini.
Me
Na we the me person bisa lawyer say me ko fa me wife ne me ma free by and you na my pre-settled no ama wo mo but from yini I think application, but now no me san can decision. No, I'm saying me busa lawyer. She said, "Bibi, what me follow up and I say ninja nesa or more developer."
What's it?
Enko hard India.
Well, Uncle Harding, yeah, so contact you more because from January, there, maybe see the 7 months.
So COVID-19.
They say, yeah, no, pandemic number, and near my slow, dear. Then so we are online, anyway. Settle. I wait to me email to find out what is happening. Is that what you are saying?
Okay.
You bet me, so almost send you bet me email just you want to know what is the position now.
Oh, okay.
I can send an email, yes.
Because me I'm reading we now certificate of application no mono say till up to 6 months.
Yeah.
My contact or
They say 6 months
but 6 months in action. But mental or munkantina mammy busam say via what I may contact you or man now say me because 5 years and the omukura 5 years and
to the Okoja Momo, they were settlement.
Pre-settled.
Pre-settled.
Pre-settled, okay.
Yeah.
Yo, now what your status was?
Maybe what settled.
Who was settled?
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy and 5 years, or 4 prefer by 5 years in a memoir.
There be almost last year no buy.
Aye, Opa, who bet me a friend later, but who bet me a contact you by email. So, email, I dear more, contact me by a few. So, what you say?
Okay.
Aye. There is no harm. Or for assembly.
Hello, Megafopa, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Sweetie Yankasame Modi, why?
Okay.
Yeah, Yanko.
But but the family boyfriend and worry for real. But we don't get the kind of worry that and I will use for. The divorce is delay with any man idea had yes me and yet they may cut and I'll tell you free. Praise it anymore. Exactly the fact that the gift will give me betting I am now or you use it.
Oh, you divorce no ha.
But
And she stage Ben Edru.
I'm not the coin. I'm not about the only amendment. The amendment is what I hear.
No, Yana.
This is how the lawyer did beginning of 1 year by the time
That's the delay because so open Tama wasn't got my lawyer from the beginning.
mistake.
I was so upset because it could be anything from 5 months, 6 months. And Sana, intimacy say, I feel now, or more amendment said, dear, ain't mean drew her. And yes, for some bit me and Sana a year naso.
Now, lawyer, what about say now or mode application divorce near Kotumuno? Bearman intimate my rob for. I guess a divorce now.
This is a way divorce.
Think I'm better saying yes or no engagement.
No.
Any, no, tell you. Yan chain, be a bompire, be an hour, the home office for the Abraham Tem. Some cry a court.
Now, the bear man in it. I'm just thinking whether.
But
What in that tea? What in that tonight?
Sister Pacho also bearman at Nache.
about 1.5 years.
Friend me after program. Why?
Okay.
Me Pacho contact a lawyer number 889 a chat war. Why, Mr. Wa? Hello, Mother for Papa.
Hello.
Yes, darling, sweetie uncle.
Hello.
Sweetheart uncle.
Pacho, me pese mi busa zankaka.
Me Pacho busa.
Me kuno kofa de baba November. Na Pacho the application need to go Beverly there. You need to go December no. But still in the card in my. Yes, home office no say BBN but the but still up to date and
December.
The second to lawyer say go with me here.
Also, who could look of our back ne babai and now
I Pacho, you mechanism because I need to start on the year back.
Right, okay. Now you're talking about something different. say me who card the crowd who can residence card and I say what is it?
Residence card 5 years, no.
5 years.
No.
Why na ye ukunu na na
And yeah, 5 Okay, into Auburn, okay, or the man 6 months. And
And
no,
what
I
did you-
apply. Oh,
what
I see
did
what
you
you mean.
apply?
Yeah. And also, yeah, I check card, never mind.
Lawyer,
Lawyer applications.
sister, yeah, also you obu the 2 December na card ne mai.
Oh,
Sister,
last year
ukunu na na ye.
Patron.
Okay, any mom won free.
And yeah, after program, if you want us, you know, a lawyer to be involved after program, why?
Sister, what saying?
Patron,
Or say,
After
friend
program.
after the program,
If
they say ukunu per se. Lawyer nye involve our friend after the program. Yes, I'm so ukunu free home office one. Why?
Because you know the sir, I didn't know what the bad in the princesses where they are bad but the card in
Ah, so mama will pray set on it any one.
And if you all apply for card, also.
I'll apply for card.
This is here, you can still apply for the card and a valid,
Patron.
valid until June.
June, no.
I've been no okay.
Okay, yeah, we are mon friend lawyer. You why?
But oh, yeah, the comma, not a proposing a
Messi, yeah, we are friend lawyer. Why? I'm not friend lawyer, no friend and call for corona de comma woman. Why?
they are so comma, but yeah, you're quite one day before.
Card, no, there's a what the one lawyer, whatever it is, would you free after program?
Emma may say, yeah, we are friend lawyer. Why?
But you.
Okay.
You me that say. Lawyer me patch on my me address bibi wa ha. Yes, me sweet sister I reminded me a year bibi Eugene. A cabbage day and a year cabbage day as a Eugene be careful what you want if you open yourself. Now call to 9 ya too. Call to them be a me call ya to them say Chroma me who's here to call to them with a call to 9 ya to me. And he be enemy who na naje mine. Me na mama say wa mo hwehwe na naje mama me Eugene mo hwehwe na naje my mama. Me who na naje mine. Hello, me do for Panama address bibi wa ha. Hello.
Oh,
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, darling, sweetheart, Kasa. Regina,
But let's say, my sister say, who are British now, then it's made to UK for 3 years. Who bet me on a salary? You think a lawyer bet me on me to Muka crack, Canada
Right, okay. Where you know, first part relevant, where I near about 2 years now. But say yeah, no, although that 3 years now, what can know what dear. And so still I would travel 2 and 5 years in answer. So what I say, and Utina, unlike other people, no, wow, we are British, you know, who travel 2 and 5 years now, would you indefinite now, would
No,
be British, you know. So what I say, because the all can, apart from that, was so hard to do indefinite. And I indefinite, you know, so also track 5 years.
not just a
3 years,
definite. I want to mean get naturalization.
No.
Bra, what you say? Say 3 years in a term. Say 5 years. Why? So person would be British and then I just say abuse. Why? Hello, middle for Good morning, bra. Me uncle sweetheart. We extended family member evidence bear now the bechere. Me fa say be a wo fa ana wo auntie e na de wo ba abrochi na wo ye nkrata ma wo je watene mu a. And 2% who evidence are on your mom require for. Lawyer, what so what you say?
Evidence there can be so many of them. The evidence be a choice will depend on Nipano. And if you want us to go through all the evidence, it was all fresh after program. Evidence to show say who depended on EEA family member.
Lawyer, mammy, me will be need birth certificate, and there was some mommy no
Birth certificate in a relationship. Also show be a show relationship. They be also what for senior. It was all show birth certificate. The church said
Only no
and
relate.
an abandon. Only an abandon. Then apart from that means dependency. One in it be just a financial and emotional dependency.
Ah, okay. Now, birth certificate, there is no way I'm going to be a year free. Okay, Madam Fintimi, Yemi,
extended family member.
Adam Fonka,
Adam Fonka.
Ye adoption, not the same with your birth certificate.
Oh, yeah. Say you adoption.
And one year
extended family member. The people used to call it adoption. And you didn't know here. This also knew any panel, so show whom university is only in for. It was a young close family member.
And come
the close family member near Uba, Umame, Ukuana,
and here was some show so where you want to where you was while you offer, or you wouldn't near a woman, Minia Banny a year was so show so your man, Minia, and you was so no man, a use the same parent birth certificate. What you say? Aha, and yes, sir, name Necrana or parents, and yet, you know, and yet, dear, they told me from the say, Mimi Niane, Nanajuan Ponsan, and Nanajuan Ponsano, Yenya mammy did the mammy say Wakuto, and to me birth certificate in the parents side, no, me mammy de mammy say Wakuto, and was said Nanajuan Ponsan, so birth certificate, parents, one. Eye mama say wa kutu anasa papa ne the same both that's an answer any wa dodo
extended family member no application is difficult
wa dodo okay yo bra me da say yo me pa mo cho lawyer number at the screen so ye wi a mo betimi afre lawyer na woni lawyer atwetwen enkomo na ye di ye me pa cho mo obi enje ma no enkosi bone say Abner's campaign si ye nko frefre koti e ma ye kunu ene ye yere no da bi enye sa na ye pa kire obi wo wa ni situation a wo mu no is unbearable obi wo wa ni situation a wo mu no obetwa ne 5 years ne kura wi no na aye hwe wo head no na nkrata wa enya enso so no wa go through emotional abuse or go through harassment or jine ho ba bia enye bia na ni situation a wo mu no oye bema time e ma ni bebre di mema abekromi ha e mema ne da so hyedem ne dia ne se won de ofradwuma ba no abeta ne so ho abeta ne so bema yi so so ne wo so yi sika on ne wo so hwefie wo gya ne busuafo e wo fie bema bi wo wa wo wura fie na ne yemu hyehye no minim osofo bi a owo list osofo mi mo wudin osofo a owo list na sofi ne nkrata mu nyina no menini mi nyina de mpaibo wa awurade maame ne maye 3 na maame no yiyifo ye bio maame no chen sofo no panyini sofo yonga na ko fa maame panyini na sofo e de ne hawo e de pa wade we mi hu ne e marriage of inconvenience me nye home office so sa na me hu marriage we sofo ne so sofo maame debi nyame na e hira so na me nyame na e hira so a we apostle yi de na ne me so me the blessing be ma wo nyame adom ye de papa yi nkrata ma no lawyer me si enipa emobo sofo no ofrɛ me a wotimi soa me say eh na dia ba asɛm kora nie
abuse
abuse mo typical abuse pɛ nie so asɔre democracy of my time bu obi e wa asɔre dem so for na sorry we gu asɔre na gu no mo change asɔre no mo ya asɔre foforo no mo kɔ e baby foforo wo ye ma me be obɛbo e wo kromi ha e wa asɔre ya enti Sophie many the kasa de sofo woni di lawyer enti how long and I be call 5 years was sister me ya osofo yi okọ campaign bi be kasa osofo na ene de me yire wa me abeche na yire osofo na ene de me se ma me ni ti me sam kwan no hwe gu papa bra na ni o cha ne be 7 years ma me ne intervals e wo mu no ti me sam kwan na sofo etwa na nkwan ye wo na ni aben kwan no atwa ne photo o se evidence na me nye lawyer evidence we me dey dey wo na wo fede asa osofo aye mbrowo wo fede untimi enye hwe wo ho e na ne baba watene mu 4 years ni nti aka ne 1 year
oda ho nipa okay oda ho
no kwa he no nko ma ka menu mu nsam nyina na sofo yi nko oso ye sofo ofede
nyae wo
Onya aware no onya to between inconvenience. Ade a wogie no kusa cheni trim. Onya no nkwa when you say eyi ne so an 5 years ne so an enya ade amaame no ebe ya ama no lawyer me se sofo no ye car wash no asan ko ye adwuma foforo sika ni nyina akọ na yire ne ho.
Oh, that's a
Na ne yire ne tua edan ka eye bibia no amani bi. E na sofo ni timi dada na yire na ne yire no kofa a wo no sofo ne baba apon kan na. E de ne bre no de ne was make 20,000. Negia akra na 20,000. 20,000 na 4 years ni nkrata no ne yire ne ho. E na ne baba akọ school ma me na nkasa ba o e ko school e na okọ kan no ho de ne ma me de ye ne papa no e na school for no e started so mo monitor yes papa ne si bo wa o be ko school no kran ba akọ bo ne okuna ba ko abanoma be we side o yire ni adwuma wo ti fi enti school for na ne monitor papa na ene yi se so mo be papa na free ho Oma be papa na free obu wa papa ne be ko e be kwa ko fa nkra no na ni ba ko mo tata so
4, 7, 5, 2.
me pacho me ye program wi anu afra na apeso kasa na emodi okay ne moja da na ni so enti school for teacher for no e na monitor no mo e de papa ne tinas no say kan de ko so bi a kire no mo fra akra no papa ne ni ene ma me na akra no e bro su nyina bo aye bo papa no e wo fie wo ene ni o ma e ko so enti papa ne fra me sese nyame adom yakoma woni ne ba ne dan ne nkrata ne mse charity organization bi na ateki over yakoma ne nkrata ne yire ne dan enam sese wo be den wo sister ma me no senyo no so anka na nya me nkrata o eja Ghana fo we kura ne ma ntembo kura se ne Ghana fo bo me sobo bo me dede ya ma me ne me ba ne 3 bedrooms house a ye team na wo frame na wadamase ena or ne yere ne so ba se ne yere na ba pa ne chew se wo mra na no nim de wo yenti on san mra ya je ne banka de nyina ma ne ti se no nya freedom a wo tinti oba na pa ne twinti me dwene ho sen ena se me dwene ho sen wo na ye bru hwia ben kwan ne nkatenkwan gu amoto mu ni wanim no me de na me dwene ho me meka na mbeka bi a wo so ko nyina so de wo ka se sister bi na di se nyame na yi wa free and 10 time na na ti mu no enti no me de papa die betwe mo no yo so fo enkofo bebre go through hardship wa wuti you don't know enti ya na me enkofo se me ba mani mu ntim betena ha na me ka bibia minimonia make a program like this no obi esro onim se we me koye pe ye be ba be ka se e na okunu duaba e na wo yire duaba so no me ka kire wo se e ma e de me ma abeto nko asumu e ma o e de me ma abeto nko asumu e wo kurum ha se no se me ma ni pia ba abonti a enkebe je wonsem e ma ni bi nsu pia ba abonti a enkebe je wonsem enti mesre mo bra bi ye first scholar or say you need evidence e wo se wo frase na wo prepare wo ho wo frase na prepare wo wo pe quicker enkrata quicker British passport abuse intimate na ho e na cabbage fo so mo so amoye cabbage no saa nioma we se nyina no ye modea me mo kra mu titru e na na mani age ene topic no ho omo ye cabbage fo no because cabbage fo no nipa no okra na o 5 years ne be so kra na hu no o 5 years ne be so se mamentoma we o 5 years ne be so no say no o demand nioma kese e free wo chen wo so kunu no unibi o yire no unibi obo okra 5 years ne be so se afi kra de ne ma woro me ho enti mesra o ko abuses no bi wo ko bibi mu a fe lawyer na woni lawyer Janet Nkasa oye wo ba o te de wo ka no ase de wo ka no wo ti ase enye adwuma bia na abetimi de akoma be ma de aye ade bi wo you need oba de o te de wo ka na se so wo ye be ma kura wo hia e bia wo ye be ma wo fere me pa cho de bi e ma me ho ko lawyer de me fere no oye wo GP lawyers o me ye GP enti bra ne ho monsusu a moba na maba betie me de
And you
hey and you say good morning
morning.
Enra na mi body na wo ho ye.
I'm not more. I'm talking about program.
Jina so na mi discipline wo kakra. Wo ye nipa boni mi ankasa. Oh ye. Oh ye.
Hello?
Yes, oh ye.
And I'm not really sad.
Ye we are from me loyalty busa de ubusa.
About my
Yeah, but pause is here.
Ah, wo de busa. Busa de ubusa.
But I put on top of my mom application recently at the airport. Now application net domestic violence application by Janet and net application in the court question in extension by a call Tribuna Anna or move to application and therefore after Tribuna on which application. But you know, like I said, as I said, domestic violence application, you know, there's my legal aid lawyer because now man income never and you always make your home office fee, you know. Lawyer
Na nejina so ma me wa me pa chawa. Ai ki yanko.
Anti lawyer no DDB convention application for home office. Ana home office for no grant no 3 months. Oma grant 3 months, but I say doing this the DDB convention one of some application and Peter said Oma grant 2 months you know application. Basically, so domestic violence application come make me grant no and I said and found somebody we are now make me after refusing.
Yeah, well, it's arguable. Say, the on Sunday, man, 3 months. Not the leave to me, the man, only a partner, my boy.
And partner, the man or these.
Lawyer, one more on the mammy and the papa in the bar or mobile crew. And tokwa abuse no, but Oman reporting because of now year, and a papa ne threat almost 1 year crata and ma warm and pounds of papa and papa ne job more to my time. In short, no more 5 years new year, no more crata, I say. And now, we need the bar, we need the Yamiatum, Unyan, who editing because another application, I don't know, crata, amano. But on my minute, dear. When to me and my application, but my application, no, young farmer, and yes, successfully refuse no. And our more cousin now or more or my men will through abuse, no, wow, really, which is no pray. But one report to only evidence be. And as I say, no more or some court, you refuse to money, you saw one yet domestic violence. And to send your walk on the amount to Yama, 3 months. So on final application. Into Obusa said, and no, obeti me aye, Yaman 3 months, no obeti me domestic violence no.
After the 3 months. After yeah, because that is the whole thing, to be able to say the amount 3 months as a victim. And I may say domestic violence is here, the leave to remain not expired, but it doesn't matter. There's no out of time application in domestic violence. So obeti me aye. Obeti me aye.
Aye, obeti me aye. Why?
About you.
Yo, yeah, the bemano. Yeah, my mentor cannot hear my refee. Hey, yo, bye. Hello, middle for bar. Hello, middle for bar.
Hello, good afternoon.
Jama friend was sorry, what sorry.
What I am, anyone is starting. No one between I am.
And then another yachia. Oba yachia, ghost, young quite, Nana.
But the chair in very possible and make that one.
Metas, Nana.
Upon what they will cook on, man. And then I am to say, don't find the cookie.
I want to know, I didn't know.
Now, any good person, yeah, of a filing for divorce, separate.
And powers of work and
when you start reading now, yeah, like financial abuse, even I think domestic crackdown. So, like PBI, financial, emotional. I mean,
say I'm report too.
If I jar, I see more control. If you're not so not because woman, I could say, why most of funny on supporting money.
Sa my young so ya gonna ye say, be a future no 1 year man.
One year, from the look of things, 1 year. It will not yet to honor the farm. Say, oh, Jaya Warren guy is okay because reasonable here or the
and
no copper case in my state because the only thing is the of science and what it was to this or
also the idea
now it is all I did to remember I was a Yavam remember and we'll go and my
Nana Janasuma me patro Jinaso.
more and there's only to me very now.
And Mamma no
Senior man now, not so Kukuma, and this self, and yet it's not
they will support 2
It's
feet.
even romantic.
Romantic. Hey, Nana, lawyer didn't say you're romantic, it's over. Hey, lawyer.
Wow, you are man.
Yeah, well, a crime or what? Yamian, you were near me, see why a romantic.
If you are and the only track over the most of what
Obi, or one main street. One main street here.
Because of a romantic.
And my lawyer Janet is a romantic in this
so explaining the way I make concerning nights, quite is a controlling, that American word is abuse. Who feels that one casa won't do, who independent, Nipano, you should start to make you or trample on you, to make you feel independent, not independent, but dependent on her. Then it becomes something else. Oh, says now, say, who can't say me senior mama who go itself. Somebody like you said, there's nothing wrong with it. But then who go on to explain, say, in the what circumstance, and the amount, yes, and you won't do and then it becomes abuse. So what I say?
So in this case, lawyer, in this case, evidence then of which you are producing from this. So how can I gather evidence from this?
And then I make say some of the evidence is not just one. It could be, say, if it's having psychological effect on you as a man, demeaning any idea, so you're getting a GP advice, psychological advice, you are, all those is a series of it. Because of one man, you know, it's abuse, means I will no one because physical and you add them all up, and then you see abuse, your mema. You've seen a way what women, say, abusive women helpline for abusive, abused women. So I know men must be helpline. I always in your friend now. No makasa, you know, it's happening. Do this, do that, and you can get letters from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that's it.
Nana, aye, yeah, then Yamia said what made it Saturday, the Baba met them were going to move some pictures in our made us say, no, made of a hey, romantic in Kupa. Yes, darling.
Good morning.
Good morning, lawyer. Amen.
Because I'm a lawyer, one person. Because you Ghana High British High Commission Ghana.
British High Commission, yes, they are open to applications. Yeah, but we have some applications, yeah.
Okay,
Miss Sumita say, lawyer, Ghana for your yabro food. Yeah, man, romantic. Hey, there be romantic, then cuckoo rooms were romantic.
Ah, why not?
Really?
Yeah.
Hey.
Let's not go there. When I come to Muslim, I'll become whatever. No, I said, we say romantic. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Saturday, Mr. Money, I'm going to Muslim. Romantic.
So, can I say, I mean, so, Castle near no senior, or you send no can. Or you are brand now said, my memoir, and I say, Namen, Namen, Ghana, Eddie Masha washing machine.
Bibi Bema, what black Robert Catcher said, Hey, romantic to cook. Romantic.
Are you trying to say something?
Miss Ghana for men, man, Africa for men, man, lawyer. And I'm trying to say something minimum Africa for yes, right? Yeah, what let now because who couldn't lawyers. ukunu mo ye enti mo romantic nkuko mo woro na mo de nam Ghana ni lawyer be ma no aba no akoye aduane no akọ hurukuko no enu ti no mo hu ne say ye no offense no
Yeah, we say offense anyway. Different.
Okay. Romantic. What a pell wo wari broni nti wo de romantic ma dada. Na ukuru hurukuku was a romantic. Debi no, me kwa kwaji ahuru mu sisi romantic. Yo, etie for Saturday. According to you, what a Ghana basi romantic dishwasher. Yo, yeah, de bia ye said ye, ya na mema no omo boa ye nya, ma mo ma ye misuse no. De enti a mema no omo mwa ye wade yo mu lawyer. Ghana ni ba se ni kunu elfa ade so ohuva. Na wode abeye ne bedding. Da bia na wo so ne nkohuva. Wo so ne nkotwitwi ade mu. Wo so ne nkoye aduane. Enti no omo nye. You don't need to command. E was so omo boa ye, omo support ye. Efe no na romantic no. Efe so omo be boa ye. Efe obeda so ne nka okuna ye breakfast or say honey ene wa bread na fie na ye menye aduane ma. But oye ba akopɛ ubo se na Ghana ni ba odi aye twemu da opie ya no afre ene wo na aduru wusu aduane no aye so nye sa na ye de etete yen Richmond this is please not all of us yo me pa mo chow na me address bibi ewo ahase enra enipa 3 ena efre me lawyer enipa 3 a omo frɛ me ni nyina ye ma omu nyina aye so down omu su adan a mienu apply for omo de omo ba ene ama omo 10-year route mienu ni nyina no omo 10-year route no ene omo kwa akosesane de na koye fa aba 5 years
omo ko 5-year route
omo akotro exams ye wie all right omo documents nyina all right at 5 years no omo betie program no wo ye nya hase ya na omo tie na omo de koma lawyer foforo ye na omo ka kire lawyer ne say ye tie wo sister Abnes campaign wo say ye 10 years na betimi aso apo aba 5 years lawyer ne so Abnes campaign me kra ya na me hwe no me kra minim de omo ka no omo mienu omo miensa mienu ye 5 years omo wo 10 years omo ko 5 years omo mienu nyina na omo de koma lawyer foforo lawyer for ne san apply na de buy asam mo 5 years 2.5 years and yes Sunday ama wo mo na che so mo 10 years na no ene de ama wo mo ene o mo frɛ me na o mo complain say in this case on be lawyer ne de na so we ni pa bonefo baby amote se ye ka no no e wo ne wo se nka mo de eba na wo ba no abeti advice no ye nya ye ka no na waje na de akwa akoma obi foforo wa abonten se lawyer je na efa ye mame no wo yi video no na de akoma lawyer no na lawyer ni sie ni mu no okwatie na wo no so akoye no nti nyame enye so lawyer no onim de wo yo wonim na ye nyame e na ne wo nyame e na ma ne yes a e de ma wo lady ba kon so se oya aware minima ware kra wo ya aware no ye be ma wo eye 3 years aware
2.5 years now.
3.5 years.
2.5.
There be lawyer who worry you near your mouth 3 years. Who worry you near your mouth 5 years and I say about 1 year. Say cranny a more 1 year. But lady no see a man 3 years. Stabana mentias ya me friend lawyer me lawyer no one church and more. Some yamin free home office no children mu. Ain't me barber from so barber frame no. Also call lawyer, me lawyer Patrick ho and na Patrick my body and on ma will list no na dia come obi foforo and nipa na ya application di amount enti me pa cho o frɛ me monye de me pa mo cho se nipa no a wasting the time aba betena ha a kyerɛ wo educate ono ne nim ne wo hu and wa ye bi ama I go through enti se wo ba no obekyerɛ wa edi enti na wosa wo de koma wo bi foforo wonso so ma wo lawyer no kaka kire wo lawyer ne se lawyer eya update wo eya upgrade wo na wonso so ye bi foforo me o de koma wo bi na se eho teche ma o frɛ me kra na me mfiu eno na ya amofra wo se me frɛ sister abena obe me obi a me wura wo obe ye oyi o se me enden o frɛ wo do sister abena be encourage me wo tia me So what bear me crana can me 2.5 years almost and the man is and yes wasum because what could you see cash here waste of money. Ah, bra 10 years no what the brain ni power ni mo dwuma na. And cause say sister when you 5 years 5 years pepe o kwa kwaji we indefinite. But say we be san ko 10 years na ye de ma wona. What waste sika for nothing. Also kwa ya wade 3 years our year ma 3 years. Our year ma 3 years so a discretionary leave to remain. And no crowd say ye twem. Enti wo minimum application kra wo lawyer no oye edema mo enti mesre mo ba na ma beji information na mo de akoma mo lawyers and now they akoma different lawyer me patcho mo se sama adwene because obi a wasting the time abetena ha a kire wo de me lawyer bi eni one den betena me program so awabon and a lawyer bi eni wa wonim de oye the whole United Kingdom in case the whole Europe the whole United Kingdom me se open lawyers kuku dem we 1 2 3 4 me lawyers ka ho 1 2 me boost it out because last year win award me boa last year win award now why you you dey say me boa
Yeah, true.
Aha, what you want na you want come the bed you ho lawyer come the bed you ho me na lawyers are wo to wo no me lawyers kuku dem lawyer me o lawyer obakura ko bi Patrick wanya eso so na me danya me asesa at least ye nominate mu me enu nyina so no ye ma wo best lawyer in UK. What you say? Enti no I feel proud say lawyers am no we adwuma no umunimade especially lawyer Janet or remember dimra efre mra kanche mra esum mra epushi mra semra mra enti me metena ha na me kasa me wo brofo kra brofo be na mpese me use Erica mo akwanta me pacho me chia obi a waka hu bia me chia o me dem nyina ma se lawyer was me twato Grace for your sweetie Grace omo ye me chia wa no pay.
Thank you again for watching, joining us today at Abnas Campaign. You've been watching Janet Frimpong from JF Law Solicitors. I'm a solicitor and a partner at JF Law Solicitors. JF Law Solicitors, we're based in Camberwell Green, South East London. Our address is Unit 150, Camberwell Business Centre, 99 to 103 Lomond Grove, Camberwell Green, London, SE5 7HN. Our land telephone number is 0207 277 0444. Or you can call my mobile, which is 07932 021 889. You can email me at j.frimpong@jflawsolicitors.co.uk. j.frimpong@jflawsolicitors.co.uk. Today we've been talking about domestic violence, what it is in immigration terms, and what you can do, what you can do in order to apply for indefinite leave to remain. You can apply for concession. We've done that today. If you have any question after this program, you can call me on my mobile, which is 07932 021 889. You can ask me questions about anything apart from the topic that we treated today. You can ask me anything to do with visa, leave to remain, appeals, detention issues, or if you don't have any immigration issue, you don't know someone who has. We also at JF Law Solicitors, we do family law, which is wills and probate, and wills and probate as well, family law, divorce, ancillary relief, contract issues. We also deal in civil litigation, property matters, if you want to buy a property or sell your property. We also do all of that. Wills and probate, if you want to make a will or you do to deal with the probate issue after the death of a family member, we also do all of that. So you can contact me on the details that I provided earlier. Thank you so much again for joining us, and hope to see you very soon. Thank you.
Yana for yempebro food.
Ghana for me say me damuni na ase mo a
and you okwa enyi de oka thank you de obi ati ase.
Okay.
Me kire say e wo show no mo mpebrofo.
O mo
mpebrofo eye. Ai
say enkofo bebre hwe.
Enso so hwe. Enti no lawyer eye.
Ghana for ye pamacho ye de brofo na de eyi fees so kakra from say the be other eyi because client in your office or client bebre almost in Ghana for, you know. My apologies, but bear with us. Thank you.
Yo, lawyer me da si bebre nyame enhira eye lawyer Janet Frimpong ya santo a lawyers mo pabene lawyers mo kokudam lawyers mo ahemfo lawyer fo nyina ohima e ba ko eno no me kai ebre bi na lawyer bi lawyer o yes kuro mi ha ma ye de lawyer bi ko je lampa and me kusa wasamba o ka se minim I am aware eno na kire genuinely how lawyer Janet Otie offer law society law society lawyer Janet the record no ewo ho ekromi ha oma ye jeli lawyer bi ana esre kra kaka maybe na lawyer bi na e kache na say really was a share lawyer na me put in your program no lawyer Janet lawyer pabene no jo etie for me tamu nyina mase ene wa wo kan ye ho bia na radinshra wa wotimi she video na radinshra wa wan share so shema woni bi e bi e woni bi e ko through ene de ye kan ye no ene de ye kan ne da bia ne ba betena ha kwana kwa ye ngrata o kwana kwa ye we yo kwana kwa ye we yo yen susu ye wo ho a ye hia sa enioma eye we sei nom ebinomo ensoso no yen susu no ye hia sa enkomo we yen susu ye hia sa akyerɛkyerɛ eye we sei nom ebino na me kanfo eye Vox Life e the amount Vox Life ship enie me kanfo e the amount say me pa cha okone kotobi say o body no e was say wo ye wo body ni ye me pa cha enyini de refuse to grow wo pa e na wo benyini wo penso so a wo nyini ni nyina agina how a wo besi bia maintain ni wo ho ene wo health wise eye me pa cha o mo asabi mo body no wa wo tim say body de me ye di for me edodo mesro wo fu eso wo ba bia eye na mo nko amesro kone koto eye Vox Life magic enye corset but aye no se corset kotobi eye smooth o sha enye fe na empane bia ebepiepie ho ede amount enie say netie o sha eye comfortable opemfo timishe obia timishe ya ye o cesarean kra na utimi ehye because button bia ni ho zip bia ni ho ye what technology e wo inside that technology ni eno ena e shape wo body no eye o body no ehu bibia ede emount intime pacho ko ne ekoje eye Vox Life shape body shape no eye ena wo mo socks nso so a wo socks no me pacho etimi yawe bia wo socks no diabetes blood pressure cancer stroke autistic children obi a wontimi nkasa ye obi a yaye no operation na affecting the mental health me pacho obetimi ahye eye Vox Life socks obetimi omo inso enso so wo ho a omo technology ewo echire obetimi ahye eno nso so me pacho order free omo me pacho me nko order free any website bia no akonya nia enye papa wanka say oh sister abana me akoto socks bia enye papa misrewo omo telephone numbers ewo so intino obetimi na one wo edi ensa wo so na me kanfo eye cable ties e the amount say cable ties na no money ensa wo so whether no assessance abre enti e wo se won so sesan wo car ties whether ne sesan no sesan wo car ties anasa wo car ties na egu car na se no me pacho wo de car na go straight na etwe ko left wo ko left na etwe ko right mesro hweye no akwa ankonya accident ensu otuto hweye e na koti nso so enyina amanya ama point driving license in United Kingdom ubenya driving license ogrom ha no na wa bremu pa lessons a wo bekọ ansa no wa pass out no ye je wo license free wo nsem a me pacho eden ye ma wo points pa e be free wo so no na eden ke boat to send me pacho oton second hand but quality pa second hand quality and na woton brand new ties and so wo ho quality pa wo ho sikasam and wo problem a o freke boat a o si apona skin pain say sikasam wo de ma me nso ho kra onne ho ebedi ensa wo so home delivery or the bema and niji sem kese e weke boat mu say or say or person obi anye n'adwuma and no de wo the whole world be bia wo bia no ke boat ebetimi de car ties abro wo that car ties free no car ties papa free no Ghana sikadro bie ni wo echen car ties mesro wo abrochire bie adwuma ema wo nua yire ukunu ewo Ghana oma ewo Ghana a wo mo bedidi ho a wo mo mfrew o mo de be si wo dan e de amount wo hia 40 feet container 10 feet container 20 30 any feet be a whoop be a no me pacho freaky boat na woni no any ensa wo o friend na wo se skin pain say sika some ye problem yen fro na me kan for a ye tap send e the amount say tap send me pacho download do a ye tap send e wo Play Store ho never send this sika e koma busuane adofo e wa bra wo mpia bonten on konko join niki untia commission e ye commission free wo Europe obetimi asend this sika wo UK obetimi asend this sika sabre ya mene mote dem hey metimi asend this sika e wa bra me mpia bonten abra me nkodikiu eno ane se wo be download na mom kai natural wo promo code eshaso a skin pain nenya £5 on top of it, €5 on top of it, a tap send. What the send this car? Se market where be now kwa kudu ewo o my gun a mobile money and a wubenya. Jobiko door to door shippers and efrewono. Jobiko say, bra, fa wonyama bra no mo fanko Ghana. Ye ba beti bronya men kase COVID-19 ti woni bronya en kase COVID-19 ti woni bronya me pa wo cho Jobiko door to door shippers ebo wupunu mu se frɛ wo mo na wo mo mefa woni ma na wa pake egu wo no enko Ghana ma wo 3 to 4 weeks pepepe na woni ma ni nyina akoku Ghana Jobiko ye door to door shippers a woni ma ekogu wo mo a safe o dada o frɛ Jobiko a wo skin pain o mama wo 15% discount na Jobiko for emfa wo nioma enko Rosedam breakfast and after school club and efre no ye were just 1 week na September August ye dia ba na wie ye ba be wura September nyame ya adoma 7th September kono enkra ba be ko school ma me wadwene ho wan ne be hwe wo ba na ma wo papa wadwene ho wan ne be hwe wo ba na ma wo me pa cho memfa wo ba enkoja adamfo memfa wo ba enkoja wo bia onte wo kurom kasa emfa wo ba enkoja wo bia onye registered na oya akora ne bone a wontimi nka me Rosedam oye registered me makone wo akɔhwɛ ma hwɛ ne nkrata mu media ma lawyer chasa a checking no oye registered enti wo ye wo ba ne bibia you have every right to report her eno de me ma wo kwan oye wo Kristo ni mapa fa wo ba koja wo bia wo be ma ne ntete pa oba koja wo bia wo suro enyame mesra wo memfa wo ba nhye dem ne ntu ni kunu enkasa mi koye 2 hours aba ubenya asem Rosedam breakfast and after school club or say anopa na wo be kwa adwuma afa wo ba ne bre no or the akra de be ko school or no abesa akopeke akra no so free school enumre opeso onye delivery akra ne delivery fama wa wo de ne beba age wise 6 years to 16 years age 6 years to 16 years me pa cho Rosedam breakfast and after school club ewo Harrow mesro freno na onfa wo ba no enko school na won san fa ne mra mesro hwe eno anfa wo ba nko Ghana enka se o ye bi adwuma enti mesro me pesika me de me be ko mama danfo me de me be ko mama ma na me pa cho da bi mesro ma wo ba ne ntena ha ne tue sika ketwa bi se woni pa kro aban ene tua o minding sikama wa Rosedam eje obeje aban ene tua ma o se wan soso ena wa wutua woni nkrata enfan krata no me pacho Rosedam ebeye ede amount na me ka kire wo se ye Brago catering services esun efro Brago catering services say ye left ban no say no ye parties ewo ho efie wo ye wa engagement wo ye christening wo ye birthday party Brago catering services efre no na wo me ye wo nuane nyina ema this week Saturday Brago ye nuane ope jollof rice with chicken ope banku with tilapia banku with okra stew ope sobolo e de agusu a contact Brago catering services na onye wo nuane ema Kumasi market na efre wo no Kumasi market wo pekam Kumasi market say wo ye engagement wo ye wedding wo ye traditional marriage wo ye kente ahemfo mo amuhia asesedwa mo amuhia chaachao mo amuhia ahemfo chiniye mo fa mo ni nkire Kumasi market wo pekam me say United Kingdom de minim Ghana Afro shop wa or say me Kumasi market me tuni dada bi every Thursday every week Thursday bia Kumasi market niane every eye Ghana eba wo tie me na wo ye afro shop na wo pese wo tu nioma me so for ni chire Kumasi market or surprise African shop bebre e was United Kingdom across the globe e wo Kumasi UK no Kumasi market e wo 15 branches e wo UK aha say enti mesra fa wani chire Kumasi market pekam na ekodi wudwa e wo Kumasi market wo tie me na wo adwuma bi a wo pese eye skin pen outreach ye mo ho de ro emfa emma adwuma no me pa cho wo de don't worry say gija adwuma no wo bi ante wo nka adwuma no ehye tokuro mu kra na sister brother me pa cho fresh skin pen outreach for o fra ye ne wo ebedi ensa wo so ye bebo adwuma ne ho de ro ye beba behwe ba bi adwuma ne wo na momo no enye adwuma bi anso so ena eye skin pen outreach ye bo ho edewuro da bi enye adwuma bi enye adwuma bia na emomo no adwuma wo de freme o freme na wo ni medi ensa wo so a ye betimi aboa ye be mo adwuma na se wo Ghana e wo Afghanistan e wo India be bi adwuma ne wo bia no ye guest house e na wo de ma adwuma no se na etie bia no me pa cha o frenya ye ne mo ebedi ensa wo so na oni atwetwe nkomo me personal number so eda eye screen so nyame ya adomo a oni mi be hia eye Thursday emergency hour eye Thursdays anopa bia ye be wura eye bosome efoforo mu nyame ya adomo a Thursday eye last Thursday of a month of August last Thursday of a month of August one maintenance emergency hour every Thursday bia meet Prophet Greg one until sorry mache where the asofo atemache because osofo bi ahye won koma amem osofo bi aka bibi akere wo anye ani amem me pa cha odabi wonni Thursday wonni nyame mompunimpu eya na me panyum we se wo se me pese me hia wo ewrade me de me pese me hia wo me nka se bra ne be hia Prophet Greg dabi oni tumi nyame ne wo tumi bra ne be hia ewrade Thursday many one every Wednesday be amede me yefunu beto wo na maka se urade e china Thursday abra me emergency awa no urade me pese me hia wo enye nipa enti da wo ho adi e kire me last week Thursday ma mo ba program no so no every Thursday nyame da ne ho adi abra ye worship kremoni yenya ye nua kremoni oba so obeka se sister me hwe wo programs nyina but emergency awa me hwe bi da woni asofo ba I ignore it na me year from because me ye kremoni me did this and kremofo so they almost believe with a believe prophetic also so no oye Kristo ni no on back program on so Thursdays no man mo was so se mo was so among comment se meboa mon ka se meboa was say abra Prophet Greg any ye bompaye no because Thursdays no ye bompaye sufra brade atmosphere ne was changing e was so be a busadi a wode ba ye bi erade e was so kasa enti Thursdays de e ye mpaye nko a yetimi gina ye now so 4 solid hours me krebo grandpa na ho metema bre enso so no osoro e was okasa e was erade sane e woni mremu de wo power de was so nya ne wo penkrate was so nya de wo Africa opesu tupan was so tupan de na dwuma sama ye basa awo ho ye basa testimony kese bia obi a wo fibroid series of fibroid or see an operation e radiadom also worry ye 16 good years ni wonye moda 16 good years onye moda fibroid yes wonti menyem ye nye no operation no fibroid no wo ho batewrade ama na nyinsen o se me pese nka me ka akere mo na me pese me ko manimu kakra wo se eba ye no 3 months ni o en wodi asie on kan kire Prophet Greg on kan kire ye da bia wo baso a oni ye bompa ye obaso a 3 months June July August 3 months eni wo si July ni ye communion service bi ena oye o take part obi a owo series of fibroid a ye ko an operation doctors say awo paade lalai fibroid ne da ho enso wasan anyam 16 years in marriage Thursday no obi be kan ye ho nipa ne so ye Muslim o si abra Prophet Greg ne ye bom paye no oba so no na me ye worship e wo so en wo se o sister Abner's campaign and measure no Abner's campaign our year worship we would have my mention no into one dear oba say there be our sharpness campaign but Thursday no who me different way into our shame or sheni pa me how I'm be operating on emergency hour enti no ye worship no when ye free ho prophet Greg be come ho a ye bomb pie no and was so one na ye ba as a wada or falling into trance ba we Muslim enti no wonim of falling into trance enti abra of falling into trance no o different word o so akọ asase foforo so na ebo kese bi esie ebo ni si ye no na mframa ebo mframa na ebo no na o se ennioma bi tete efri ne ho ase aponkyerani ennioma bi tete efri ne ho eho na ne yere ekose sa ring ne ennioma bi ka kire ne se we na wo de bo wo ho ban no na ennioma ne tete ma dilili enti edie na me pese me ka kire me pese me ka kire wo se woni nyame emompu nimpu da bia wo kan ye ho Thursday ka se awrade me pese me hia wo me de me pese me hia wo enye nipa enipa de wodi atoro wodo hu tu nipa so nipa be de uhwamo prophet Greg oye nipa obetimi aye bibia ma na hawo abana me ye nipa metimi akasa ama ahaw but oyi wa adwene free me so se wo pese woni nyame bompu nimpu a wo pese woni nyame hia yes you meet God enti mesraw every Thursday kan ye ho this Thursday a last Thursday of a month we are going to enter a month of delivery adie bibiara awanyinsen from January ebe ye wusika eye wawo eye wonkrata eye wo visa na wo pe eye oba ene wo prison o pesika financial breakthrough you need favor you need grace you need oil asumudue ene wo fie me pacha wonyem you are pregnant with something important. A month of September we are going to deliver. A month of September you are going to deliver. Until Thursday, a last Thursday of a month of August. When you are abra ye fasting, also betimi ayebi. We are fasting until September. Also betimi ayebi. Na when ye shia a Thursday. Ubo se nyame bekasa. Enti adie bi ha wo bia no fabra. Yare fabra. Testimonies there mekasa me kan. I will not finish. Or more join me a Thursday in the hour. Enti wo baswa wo share video na nyame be hira wo share video na wo frɛ wo nua bia de wa deswa wo baso kra na prophet an hyɛn koma enwu abra boso a wa share video na wa dwene wo nua bi ho adwempa no nyame obekasa wo abra bo mi sister Edith Morris sister ya mamente won kan wai nyame ebe hira wo me da wase bebre nyame enhira mo nyame ya adoma one me besan trans me pa mo cho mesra wo Mamon me pamocho mesra madawroma me pe bema a wo bekwa akọ ware mi sister cabbage so ajase entoma wo de entoma dodo bi abaji bia no mesra frɛ me pe bema me wo enuano mu bebre me wo ma bebre me nua ba ko Ghana me wo man so wo kromi ha mesra wa entoma na wo baji mi bia no mesra frɛ me pe wo mo a omukura me pe obi a okura Bible so atiase me pese me kire me pese me kan kasa ma wo tiase ukura Bible a me pe menye ne say Korean me fa Korean enyina ho ma continent for na me fa King James version ema UK for me pe nipa ba ko okura King James version e na me pe obi okura Korean enti mesraw emfa ho ne uye Muslim, uye Christian, mihia, Mr. Madawroma, why? Monte Casana me pesa minimo ekano as because ubi etia me naso, enti Montia se emfa emame, Mr. Wow, opese, once watana wacha, unia warieno, enche na ye cabbage, Mr. Freme, ye real program ya, me pe wobi a ukrabi, ubia ukra Bible, and a ukra Quran, Mr. Unkra, none of them are enfreme, Mr. Madawroma. Me demu nyina mase nyame nhira mo me ne mo besan atena se bio obi a wo kan ye ho bia ma ma odin a me ye sorry why fa che me nyame ya adoma me bo odin da foforo me da mase ai abusia meeting at the Abundance campaign medisika ema ne mebusia eni adofo ewo my Ghana mu e de fa eye tap sikamanie eso edie bentia eye so easy, reliable, affordable, convenience, and it's so fast. E kwabe and wo be faso a obe use tap sikamanie and one say Ubefa wo smartphone na wa download eye tap sikamanie e wo phone so eno ani se wo ko eni gisem kese ne se ba bia wo bia wotimi use eye tap e de send sika e ko wo my Ghana mu e wa abra wontua hwe commission free empo abra meti hey metimi use eye tap e de send sika e wa abra mi mpia bonten Nemo kai so be use a promo code e was screen so now what you send this sika nema busia enya £5 extra €5 extra enka wo musika wo de be ko ne ho no enti use promo code no e was screen so tap yes say Paula Mantem was sing Eddie Canfo tap abba amaye Ghana for